Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community by University of Iowa Healthcare. Changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. Now live, this is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball.
From the campus of Indiana University in Bloomington, it's time for Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Live from Bart Kaufman Field, it's the rubber match of the series between the Indiana Hoosiers and the Iowa Hawkeyes. A happy Easter to you and a warm welcome into the broadcast booth alongside my fine color analyst, John Evans. I'm John Leo. The series is all tied up after Indiana won Game 2 yesterday, 2-0 in 10 innings. A Morgan Colopy walk-off home run doomed Iowa's pitching gem and stunned the Hawkeyes in extra innings. And Marcus Morgan, he was really sharp yesterday, wasn't he? 5 stellar innings, allowing just 1 hit. Zach Volker came in relief and was just as strong, but he did give up that home run in the 10th. And so Iowa regroups today, especially in the batter's box after striking out 17 times yesterday. A massive game and a significant series with Indiana. A win today will pull Iowa back to 500 in league play. Ty Langenberg, he'll get the start today with a full arsenal in the bullpen ready for support. It's the series finale. The winner will take the series. The Hoosiers and the Hawkeyes, Indiana and Iowa. Live from Bart Kaufman Field with first pitch coming in just a bit. Well, we were treated to a pitcher's duel at a defensive show yesterday. Unfortunately, Indiana came out on top 2-0, but some Hawkeye highlights from that one. 1-0 pitch to Honar. Drills it deep to right. The right fielder going back. Get going, baby. It is gone. Ho-ho! Sam Honar. Boom. Hawks lead 5-2. The pause, the 0-2 pitch, line drive right center. This one's trouble. Huckstorf and Frazier come together. A diving play! Braden Frazier, are you kidding me? Bases loaded for Kyle Huckstorf. He drives it deep to left center field, carrying well. It's down and to the wall. 1 run is in. Make it 2. Are they going to send a third? No, they're going to put the brakes on Brennan Durigge. It's a 2 RBI double. Kyle Huckstorf, 7-1. Morgan's 2-2, line drive right center. This one's trouble, but Frazier's over there. Braden's got it. He makes the catch, drifting over into the gap, and the Hoosiers will leave him loaded in the 4th. The Hawkeyes dodging a bullet. 1-2 from Morgan, swing and a miss. Got him fishing for that one in the dirt. 7th strikeout of the game for Marcus. That'll match his career high. He is dealing right now. Volker is set, the pitch. Ground ball to second. Honar's got it. Flip to second for 1. On to first for 2. Double play. 4-6-3. Got him. Volker versus Tibbetts. First pitch. Ground ball to Durigge. He'll throw it to second for 1. On to first. Double play.
Got him.
Got him. 3-6-3. Double play. And we're headed to extras. How about those Hawkeyes?
Wow.
Oh, we've had a really good, fun, highlight-filled weekend. 1 win, 1 loss. Time to add to the highlight reel in the rubber match, Game 3 of the series with Indiana. We'll be back with more pregame coverage right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities. For award-winning claims and sales service, find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At U.S. Cellular, we think phones are great,
But they're not always great for us, because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down, not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Pre-game coverage continuing from Bart Kaufman Field today. It's the series finale with Indiana. We've split the first 2 with them. Got to take this one to win the series. Let's welcome in color analyst John Evans. John, we look at the first couple of games. What are some of your highlights to this point?
The highlight for me, good morning and happy Easter first, I guess, but the highlight for me is, and we talked about it a little bit, if Iowa pitches this way for the rest of the season, I know it hasn't worked out perfectly today or this weekend, but they'll be just fine as the year goes along. I mean, Brody Breck was outstanding on Friday night. Jacob Henderson came in, closed the door with 6 straight strikeouts. And then yesterday I was trying to think back to last year and kind of remember some of Marcus's starts and appearances last year. But I was hard pressed. That might have been his best one overall. Just the total command, the ability to really not even work himself in and out of jams. He just never really got in the 4th inning. He got himself into a little hot water, but got out of it. And then Zach Volker was really good to finish. Makes one kind of mistake. I mean, he didn't miss by much, and Kalapi hits the. Kind of golfs the outside pitch. You know, maybe Zach missed a little bit in the plate and then allowed him to do that, but he was fooled. It was an off-balance swing. Didn't really take a rip at it. So, you know, I guess the only redeeming factor I took from all of that was we might have lost in the 9th inning if not for a good umpire call at first base on the double play. So we were probably a little fortunate to get to 10 based on that, but you know. So I guess the pitching has been fantastic. The hitting was good enough Friday, wasn't very good yesterday. Coach Heller and Coach Sutherland really challenged the guys today, a little bit like the Sam Houston game, where wasn't the best hitting approach. Maybe got a little out of the Hawkeye way and really kind of challenged them to buckle back in and see if they could bring a better energy today
For the full 9.
For the full 9 and almost a bigger challenge of when things aren't going well, how do you respond? The little things like body language, your the self-talk of are you still confident even when things aren't going your way? Because the great example was what would you say to your friend if he was down, and if you're talking to yourself differently than that, you're probably doing it wrong.
Yeah. And just to go back to some of the points you made early on, you don't want to. You got to be careful, because if you say, well, the offense was an outlier yesterday, it was so poor, it was an outlier. A lot of people could say, well, so is our pitching this weekend has been an outlier in a good way. So, I'm always careful to praise one and be critical of the other, just because you never know how those could flip, because we know that Iowa's offense is not going to be as poor as it was yesterday. Well,
and you saw the opposite last weekend against Maryland. You saw the hitting really get out there, and then the pitching maybe not be able to slam the door, and that's part of how it works, and that's why Friday we were so impressed with how it was really a complete game for the Hawkeyes, and really kind of did everything, and then yesterday we talked about needing that big hit. Hawks really only left 7 guys on base. There were a couple times where there was a safety squeeze, suicide squeeze that maybe they tried to get down that they couldn't. And quite honestly, if you look at home plate here, Frazier's probably safe at home plate if there is not a lip on home plate.
Yeah, what's up with that?
They've replaced the turf around home a couple times, and Frazier probably, if his hand doesn't kind of ramp up or to the right or to the left, or if he's able to slide into a more traditional home plate, he's safe. And then you never know how the bottom of that inning plays out. So, again, it's a little bit like losing the midweek game. The world isn't shattered yet. It's just you caught a tough break, and you lost an emotional game yesterday because you had to watch the other team jog around the bases and come out and celebrate at home plate, and that's never fun. But
do you think, obviously not the outcome, but do you think Iowa going through a game like they did yesterday, it will help them in the long run? I mean, that had a tournament postseason type of feel to it, and I'm kind of expecting something similar today, so we'll see how Iowa responds. But, to be in a high pressure, every pitch really mattered the whole game yesterday.
The short answer is it could, and it depends on the team and how you take it. Do you take it as a gut punch and, oh boy, no, now I'm 4 games down the road before I recover? Or do you get in that situation and go, you know what, we were pretty darn good. We just didn't quite get that last thing done, but we did a lot of really good things there. And I'd like to think, based on the guys that I know, certainly the coaching staff, it's something they're going to take and move on with as a positive. And just one quick thing there with, I was talking to Marcus Morgan this morning, and I said, Marcus, it was really good to see that side of you. And he's like, it's always been there. I'm like, I know, man. I just need you to know that,
yes.
That it's always been there. And so, it was really great to see Marcus have that kind of day. He's got great stuff. He's a good human being, and he works really hard for it. And not that there aren't a lot of other of those people, but man, he's put in the time and done the work, and it was great to see him get that benefit and to your point, went toe-to-toe with the guy that had Hawkeye hitters numbers yesterday. And, Indiana did that little bit of a pitch-off thing where they threw their better guy on Saturday, figured that was their chance to maybe cruise to an easy win. It worked out in the end for them, but it didn't work out like they thought.
Yeah, we almost gave more than they could handle, and almost got them, made them pay for that. So today now we'll see a couple of pitchers. We'll go with Ty on the mound for us, who had a little bit of a bullpen stint, and look how that's worked out for him. He's been really sharp lately. Same to be said with Marcus, right, where he was a starter, and then he went to the bullpen. The staff worked their magic a bit. Marcus comes back yesterday, does a great job. So maybe Ty will continue that momentum, because the starting pitching's been great for Iowa this weekend. Indiana will throw a guy with a 1.23 ERA who will be making his 8th start. So the Hawkeye hitters have to bounce back right away and get after it today. The bigger key, I think, in my opinion, on the pitching side of things, both bullpens fully loaded.
Well, and that's, listening this morning about listening to the coaching staff talk, you may see on the Iowa side, you may see somewhat shorter leashes for pitchers.
Yep. Because
you have so many arms that, you want to get in a game. I mean, you don't want to go a weekend without throwing them. I was just, Ty last year pitched the Sunday game against Indiana, also threw 5 scoreless innings, gave up 4 hits.
All right.
So, he's got good memories of Indiana, and it's a very similar lineup to what he faced last year. But exactly to your point, you'll see Cade come in, you'll see Louis come in, you'll probably see. If Louis comes in early, you'll probably see Jacob come in, maybe to try to close out a game.
He's ready to go again.
A chance, exactly. You haven't seen Jared Simpson yet. I mean, there's some options there where Iowa can go kind of right, left, because Indiana is a team that's got good alternating hitting there with the 3 lefties in the top 5 spots.
Plenty of options today for Iowa. We'll see if we can take the rubber match with the Hoosiers coming up in just a little bit. After this break, we'll talk with head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Welcome back to pregame coverage of Iowa Hawkeye baseball. Today, the series finale with Indiana. Winner take all for this series. Joined now by head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller. Coach, a pitcher's duel yesterday.
Yeah, it definitely was. Painful loss, and one of those games that you wish you could go back and do some things over again. You know, it was just a battle, really. I mean, we faced Senard, and he was really good yesterday, and he's a bit of an outlier to begin with, and usually on those type of guys, what I mean is that he's tall, 6'8", and he throws really downhill, and he throws 5-6 pitches, and the video we had seen. Most days he was off with something, and you could have a better plan. Yesterday he was hitting both sides of the plate, up and down with his fastball, hitting with all of his off-speed pitches, and he made life really, really tough on our guys. And then the great thing about yesterday was that Marcus Morgan went out and matched him pitch for pitch, if not even better. And then Zach Volker came in after Marcus and was outstanding. I mean, we went through 9 innings with Marcus and Zach, and they only had 1 hit, and they didn't have hardly any traffic on the bases whatsoever. Even though we had our struggles offensively, we at least pressed a few times. I mean, we had our chances. We had 2 or 3 chances to get a 2-out hit. We had 1 chance at first and third, less than 2 outs, and we didn't get the run in. And unfortunately, that's the lesson from this game is when you play in those tight ball games like that, you have to take advantage of those opportunities, and you have to execute, and then you walk out of there 1-0 after 9. Unfortunately, we put ourselves in a situation where, we had a call go against us in the top of the 10th that I thought our guy was safe at the plate, would have made it 1-0, which would have changed the dynamics of the bottom half of that inning. They get a leadoff double, bad bunt, out, and then Zach hung a pitch, but he had him off balance, and it was just bad luck. I mean, it was just pure luck. I mean, the kid's rear end was in the dugout. He was out in front, and it just happened to hit his barrel in the one spot that a ball was going to carry on a day like yesterday, and then it hits the foul pole. But that's my point. I mean, they hadn't done anything to that point, and then by us not being able to take advantage of the opportunities that we had, because we had quite a few more than they did, you put yourself in a spot where something goofy like that can happen, or a lucky thing can happen to beat you, and that's what happened to us yesterday.
It feels like going along with this entire series, some high-level baseball being played, though, by both teams.
Oh, no question about it. I mean, yesterday we hadn't, there's a lot of positives, even though we lost. There's a lot of positives. Number one, the pitching the first two games in this series has been tremendous for us, and if we can continue to do that and do that consistently, that bodes well for us the rest of the season, without question. And then the other thing is, we hadn't been in a game like that, tight all the way through, where the focus and the intensity was there every single pitch all the way to the end, with having to be locked in on bunt coverages, steals, delayed steals, anything that could happen. You had to be ready to go, and we did great. We will be better because of that game if we come out today with the right approach. We'll learn from that, and we'll be better because of that. The only downer to it is that we did lose, and now we're sitting here. The first 2 weeks in the conference, we're a game under 500, and which really puts a lot of pressure, perceived pressure today on this game. Very similar to last Sunday against Maryland, where you feel like you have to get a win. And that's not what we talk about. That's not what we do. I mean, so our message to the team is just, we have to give a great effort today. It was a bit of a blip in the radar. We didn't handle some things well when it started to go poorly for us mentally, and we need to have a better approach today and come out and really swing the bats. We need to get, to your question, we need to get a great start out of Ty Langenberg. But here's the deal, we can use Luke Llewellyn at any time today. We don't have to wait till the 8th or 9th inning. Jacob Henderson should be back. He had a day off yesterday. We should have him at any point in time that we want to use Jacob in this game. We've got Cade Overmuller. We've got Jared Simpson. We've got the whole bullpen. So you're going to see us today probably, guys aren't going to get a real opportunity to work through a lot of things because there's a lot at stake today. And hopefully Ty gives us a good start. But if not, we'll go to the pen and we'll try somebody else, and we'll just keep rolling until we get it done. And the pitcher we're facing from Indiana today, John, is solid, good numbers, but more of a traditional right-hander. He does throw a split finger that he doesn't throw for a strike much. It's a chase pitch, and that's going to be something that we're just trying to take. So if you see us chasing the splitty, that means we're not in a good place in our heads at the plate, but more of a traditional mix with the fastball and the slider. The slider has some sweepy profile to it, but he has a hard time when it's extra sweepy. Some days it is, some days it isn't. When it's extra sweepy, it's a plus pitch, but he has trouble hitting with it for strikes. So, and then they still have their best guy in the bullpen, and I'm sure we're going to see him, as soon as the starter's out of the game. Very similar to what we will do with Luke Llewellyn, and should be another battle.
The pitching staff now, this is what you probably had envisioned it looking like maybe a little bit earlier in the season, but glad we have it now.
No, for sure, and that's what I said. That's the message for all of us, is that if we can do this consistently, the rest of the season, has a chance to be pretty special.
On the offensive side of things, is there any special message that you gave the hitters, or that Coach Sutherland gave the hitters to win this game?
Yeah, basically all he said, and Marty addressed him this morning, is like, listen, we faced a guy that was a very good pitcher that had his best day. Okay, could we have done some things different? Yes. But in baseball, you're going to run into those days. It's how you respond to those days today. How do we come out today and respond to that? the message that I have was, I agree totally with Marty. How do we respond today? But I didn't like the way we responded in the moment. When it became the 4th and 5th inning, I felt for the first time this year we had some guys that maybe were pouting or feeling sorry for themselves and that type of thing, and talking, bad self-talk. And that was the first. It was the first that I'd seen that happen a lot this season, and that was just, again, a great lesson that you're not going to get it done in the opportunities you have if that's the mindset that you're going to have during the course of the game.
How do you feel about the lineup today, the batting order? Any changes or sticking to the process?
Couple flips, same lineup, same people, but a different.
Okay.
We're just mixing a couple things today. We're going to put DeRiggi in the 2-hole. Move Keaton to the 3-hole just because DeRiggi's been swinging it good down here and just to flip it up, basically. And then I'm going to move Huxdorf down to the 7-hole, I believe, or 6-hole, and Honar's up 1, and then Tello's going to move up to the 4 spot, and just to switch it up a little bit.
This game have a playoff type of feel to it, to you, or something maybe a little extra to it that maybe could propel us the rest of the season?
Well, you hope so. I mean, again, it's not stuff that you talk about with the team. You just talk about going out and executing the plan and giving your best effort, both physically and mentally, and that's what we do every day. But I do feel like the hitters have a really solid plan. Marty's put together a good scouting report on the guys we're going to see today. It's just a matter of if we're locked in and we can execute it. We got out of sorts yesterday, and when Synard was hitting with everything, it kind of messed the plan up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And he was living on the edges. He wasn't missing over the middle of the plate at all. We felt like that we'd have cutters and sliders that he would leave up that we could set on and hit, and he just didn't. He kept them down. He was on the edges. Very few times did he miss.
Well, let's get a good start from Ty. Let's get the bats going and win the day and win the series against Indiana, Coach.
All right, thanks, John.
Head coach of the Hawkeyes, Rick Heller, on our pregame show from Bloomington. We're moments away from first pitch, Iowa and Indiana, coming up right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Nice crowd filing into Bart Kaufman Field this Sunday afternoon. Well, we're not quite to afternoon yet, are we? Out here in a couple minutes away from noon.
Sneaking up
Eastern
on it.
time. We're getting there. Starting lineups being announced for Indiana and Iowa right now. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Hawkeyes are 22-7 on the season. Indiana 21-10. Iowa at risk of falling a little bit deeper below 500 in conference play if they can't win this one today. But I'm looking forward to an inspired effort by Iowa to get to 3-3 in Big Ten play. The Hoosiers are 6-2 up near the top of the conference. We'll step away for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll have starting lineups and first pitch between Indiana and Iowa. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
For the land of the free and the home of the brave.
All right, national anthem is complete at Bart Kaufman Field. We're getting ready for first pitch. It's time for today's starting lineups. We'll start with the Hawkeyes, 22-7 overall, 2-3 in the Big Ten. Will be led off by Ben Wilmus today. Brennan DeRiggi moves up a spot. He'll bat second for the Hawkeyes. Keaton Anthony will bat third. Raider Tello's in the cleanup spot, batting fourth. Sam Honar bumped up to 5. He'll bat fifth. Kyle Hucksdorf will be in the 6th spot today for Iowa. 7, 8, 9, Michael Seegers, Braden Frazier, and Cade Moss. They'll wrap up the first 9 for the Hawkeyes today. We'll face off against a pitcher for Indiana, Sete Manasseh. We're going to get that right by the end of it. 6'4", 250-pound junior from the state of Washington. He's a tall righty, just like everybody else that they got in their pitching staff.
To be fair, we're going to get it wrong a couple more times, too.
Oh, you're probably right.
Making his 8th start of the season, his 10th appearance. He's got a 2-1 record, a 1.23 ERA, 22 innings, 17 hits, 11 runs. Just 3 of those have been earned. 8 walks, 19 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .213. You know, fastball, spinny slider, and a splitter. So that'll be kind of different. Instead of the changeup, the Hawkeyes will have to kind of refine that plate discipline to lay off that splitter, but he hasn't tended to go deep into games. Hasn't thrown a lot of pitches. Just looking, his career high is 69 pitches, so hasn't gone terribly deep there. You know, but as you talked about earlier in the pregame, bullpens for both teams are very fresh. Indiana didn't use a ton of their main guys. We kind of know who's going to be their important guy out of the bullpen that we're going to see later today. But the question will be, how much can we disrupt the plan and get to him quicker?
And we'll probably find out pretty quickly the approach that Iowa has, because Coach Heller said that Manasseh doesn't throw this splitter for a strike very often. So if Iowa's chasing it, could have a sign that the plate discipline, the plan isn't quite in place. But Ben Wilmus will be the first batter. The first pitch to him is a ball to start the game. 1-0 pitch to Wilmus is a called strike on the outside corner. Umpires today, behind home plate is Scott Klein. Pete Peterson down the line at first. Out at second is Greg Harmon. At third is Jay Myers. 1-1 pitch to Wilmus. Outside, off the plate, 2-1.
You know, Manasseh is going to be upper 80s. He actually just touched 91 there on the second pitch, but usually he's kind of an upper 80s guy. Kind of a
2-1 driven out to left center, carrying well towards the track, towards the wall, and it is caught at the wall. The center fielder, Whalen, put his right foot in the middle of the wall, and he climbed up and caught it.
102 exit velo there for Ben, as he really, after a tough day at the plate yesterday, got a good one there, drove it 379, but needed just a little bit more juice.
Maybe 381? Man, that was close. Wilmus gave it a ride to left center. He's out number 1. Great contact. Here's DeRiggi. First pitch, high and tight for a ball.
I keep calling Ben warning track. He's not helping me get over that.
Better be careful saying it to him again. That's a couple times he's really gotten a hold of one. 1-0 pitch to DeRiggi on its way. That's a slider in, ball 2. You know, I know it was an out, but I like the start. You know, free swing and getting after it.
The best contact we had in really since Friday.
2-0 pitch is a called strike at the knees to DeRiggi. What do you make of DeRiggi moving up to the 2 spot?
Well, you know, we've talked a little bit about how it seems like even when DeRiggi makes outs, the exit velo's 100+. You know, he's just been so good with making contact. So, you know, maybe kind of shuffle, give Keaton a little bit different look, too, to put him in a spot where maybe he can start to find more success.
3 balls and a strike to DeRiggi. The pitch, swing and a miss. Full count now.
Good high fastball there by Manasseh, came back. They do the 2-strike shift where they move the third baseman over to second and flip around on DeRiggi.
3 infielders on the right of second base. The 3-2, that's low and in. Ball 4. DeRiggi is on as the first Hawkeye base runner today. Set things up for Keaton Anthony.
Took us 4 innings to see that yesterday.
Yeah, no kidding.
Way ahead of the curve.
Yeah. Off to a bit of a better start.
And that's Manasseh doesn't walk a ton of guys. You know, like I said, just 8 guys so far in the season. So that in itself shows, you know, good plate discipline to get there and draw that walk and keep moving the order through.
Here's Anthony. They kind of flip things around for Keaton and put 3 infielders on the left side of second base now. I guess the second baseman playing right behind the bag at second. Shortstop and third in their traditional spots. DeRiggi's at first. Count is 1-0 to Anthony. I'll check on Brennan at first with a throw over.
We've seen Keaton display a lot of power to right and right center. I'd love to see him hit that lonely right fielder out there who's just kind of standing there way off the line. A lot of room.
Couple of guys on islands on the right side. Here's one driven into the corner and right. It's a fair ball into the corner off the line. DeRiggi's rounding third, and he's going to have to stop there. It's a ground rule double.
Bounced over the short wall.
DeRiggi was certainly going to score. And it's a ground rule double for Keaton Anthony. He sent it out to right, just like you said, John.
Well, and that's, again, when Keaton's at his best, he's not trying to pull everything. I'm not saying he shouldn't try to pull some stuff, but when he's at his best, he's an all-field hitter to a right center field hitter, and he displayed it there, got under it, sliced it right, just barely fair, and then ended up bouncing over that short wall.
Raider Tello's the batter. First pitch outside to him. Hopefully that being a ground rule double doesn't hurt the Hawkeyes. Got 2 in scoring position with 1 out. Tello moves up a spot to the cleanup position. 1 ball, no strikes. Pitch to Raider. That's low and in. Blocked nicely by the catcher. And it's 2-0. Hitters count.
Good job there from Ceruto to keep that in front. You know, we haven't seen him have to do a ton of that, but again, when you start talking about a guy trying to throw a splitter now, you know, that's a place where it goes. You know, he starts knee high, it'll drop out.
2-0 is inside, almost hit Raider. 3 balls, no strikes to the Hawkeye third baseman with powerful Sam Honar on deck.
Probably has a red light here, but if he gets a fastball that he likes, wouldn't mind seeing him try to drive one.
That's outside, ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. For Raider Tello, the base is loaded for the Hawkeyes in the first.
Yeah, we saw Sam yesterday. Was a little bit of a, you know, kind of got out of his zone that had made him really successful the last few weeks, and so it'll be interesting to see if he can get back to some of that discipline as we get a mound visit already.
Well, we said, you know, the first 3 innings, the first time through the order, we'd probably have an idea about where the Hawkeye hitters are at. What are you seeing so far, John?
Well, again, you hit it on the head with even the Wilmot's out. It was a loud out. You know, it was barreled contact. You know, 102, hit it hard, made a play. Good eye again, good plate discipline from DeRiggi. Not that we'd expect anything different from him as he goes up there a lot. But Keaton's approach was really good. You know, he took a pitch on the outside, didn't try to pull it because, you know, that's a double play ball, ground ball if you try to pull that into the shift. So he just pushed it out to the opposite field, and then Tello, you know, another guy that maybe likes to free swing a little bit, really had good command, good discipline of the zone. And so that's, you know, after striking out 17 times yesterday, that's exactly what you wanted to see from Hawkeye hitters. And now we want to see Sam Honar take kind of that same step.
Make this a big inning right off the rip. First pitch to Honar, swing and a miss. Outside corner was a bit in front of that 78-mile-an-hour pitch.
Was probably a strike anyway, but he was kind of looking. He was looking fastball. Got the spinner on the outside.
It's a good thing he didn't hit that. That was a double play ball. 0-1 pitch to Honar. This one is hit softly to third. Charged hard by Pine. He'll have one play over to first. He'll throw it on the run for the out, but DeRiggi scores. 1-0 Hawkeyes.
Little cue ball there, gets the run across. I mean, I suppose that's as good as a sacrifice bunt there as he hit it right off the end. It looked like Cerruto was a little mad. Pine didn't just bring it right to the plate.
You think he had a play if he would have gone home?
No, I was kind of disappointed he didn't throw it to the plate either, because I think DeRiggi beats that. So I'd have been quite content with the flip to the plate.
2 outs in the inning for Kyle Huckstorf. Runners at second and third. Top of the first inning. First pitch to Kyle. Driven to left. Get going, baby. It is caught at the wall again. I think he brought that back, John.
I'm sure he did with the short wall. Again, 105 exit velo, hit at 342, and he needed 342 and 6 inches. So Hawks do get the run, though. They take the lead, so got a good spot there.
Huckstorf crushed that to left, and Taylor reached up and grabbed it before it got into the Indiana bullpen. Hawks get 1 run in the inning. They leave 2 on. We're back for the bottom of the first right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At MidAmerican Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of MidAmerican Energy.
Iowa leading Indiana 1-0 as we get to the bottom of the first. Here's the batting order for the Hoosiers today. Philip Glasser will lead things off, followed by Bobby Whalen and Devin Taylor. Brock Tibbetts is their cleanup man. He'll bat 4th. Carter Matheson, the designated hitter, bats 5th. In the 6th spot for Indiana today is Morgan Colopy. He's the hero of yesterday's game, followed by 7, 8, 9, Josh Pine, Tyler Cerny, Peter Cerruto. Defensively for the Hawkeyes, Brennan DeRiggi at first, Sam Honar at second, Michael Seegers is the shortstop, Raider Tello at third. In the outfield from left to right, Ben Wilmus, Kyle Huckstorf, Braden Frazier. Doing the catching is Cade Moss. On the mound today, Ty Langenberg. Ty is 6'2", 290 pounds from Urbandale.
3-2 on the season. This will be appearance number 9, start number 7, 5.52 ERA, 31 innings, 43 hits, 20 runs, 19 earned. 12 walks and 41 strikeouts. Ty's been better the last month or so.
Starts with a first pitch strike on the outside corner. We are loving the version of Langenberg we've seen.
Made the switch to the bullpen, kind of got his stuff back together, found some velocity. Just misses low there.
Has a little bit of history against this Indiana team.
Yeah, had a good start last year on Sunday in Iowa, or I guess it was Saturday in Iowa City. It was the 3rd game of the series, but threw 5 shutout innings and on 4 hits, and so did a really nice job there. So a lot of the same guys in the lineup, so he knows he can get them out.
Yeah. 2 balls and a strike. That's the count to Glasser. They're starting shortstop. Now 3-1, missing outside. Ty's trying to keep the momentum going that Brody Brecht and Marcus Morgan put in place the first couple of games, the starting pitchers this weekend. 3-1 pitch. This is line foul and out of play. 3-2.
Glasser hitting 382. You don't really want to let him set the table, but he does a good job on his own. 10 of 13 on the stolen base side.
3-2 is a breaking ball that's high and outside. Gets to the backstop. Leadoff walk. Glasser is on first base. Indiana wearing crimson tops today. They've got Indiana spelled out in script across their chest, but in a red, white, and blue pattern that the American flag. Their numbers are the same on the backside, outlined in white, but filled in with stars and stripes. White baseball pants with a red stripe down the side. Iowa in their Sunday gold scripts with Iowa spelled out in black across the chest. White baseball pants, black baseball caps in the field today. Here's Bobby Whalen swinging and missing at the first pitch from Langenberg. Turned a couple of double plays yesterday. Now wouldn't be a bad time for the first one of Sunday. A 1 pitch from Langenberg. That is inside, evening the count 1-1.
Hawks have done a good job on Whalen. He's 0 for 7 so far in the series. Which I guess Hawks have only given up 7 hits, so that goes through a lot of the lineup.
A ball and a strike. They'll check on the runner at first. Good quick move over there. And we were talking about it a little bit before we went on the air that, Indiana offensively, very poor this weekend. Iowa's really held them in check.
Iowa's done everything you wanted to do from a pitching standpoint. Just haven't been able to get it. Indiana hitting just 117 so far this weekend, so more walks than hits, and they've kind of continued that with the leadoff walk.
Here's one driven to right, but this will get foul and out of play. Counts now 1-2 to Whalen, their center fielder. He made an outstanding defensive play to rob Ben Wilmus of extra bases to start the game. We'll see Devin Taylor next, who robbed a home run off of Kyle Huckstorf's bat back in the first. Ty's got a quick move over to first to keep Glasser close. I don't know, do you think that's a pickoff move or just a hold him close move?
A little of both. I mean, obviously 10-13, you get a 1-2 count here. It's kind of a good running count.
And Ty hits Whalen between the shoulder blades.
And Ty's thrown a couple of those pitches today, so he seems like he's having a little bit of trouble with the grip. The ball forward to Glasser was just non-competitive out of his hand, and you really saw the same thing there. And Coach McGrath's going to go have a quick chat here as well.
Mound visit from Coach McGrath. 2 on, nobody out for Indiana in the bottom of the first. It's a beautiful day, an Easter Sunday in Bloomington. Wind blowing out a little bit to left, not in like it was the first 2 days. Not a cloud in the sky, sun shining, and pretty mild temperatures. Not too much of a chill in the air as we've reached 12:15 p.m. Eastern time.
Yeah, this is the best day we've had for baseball in some time so far, with just a little bit of a breeze but a lot of sun, and should be warming up. I think we're going to get into the mid-60s today by the time we're done. So,
well, we've got UW Milwaukee on Wednesday, John. That's a 4 o'clock first pitch, and temperature forecast in Iowa City is 81. We'll take that, won't we?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah, no kidding. Just those days of maybe freezing in that press box will be long gone. Here's Devin Taylor, first pitch swinging and missing. Good start from Langenberg. Iowa in a bit of trouble here with runners at first and second for the Hoosiers in the bottom of the first. Hawks lead 1-0.
Taylor's the team leader for Indiana in home runs with 5. A lot of pop in the bat, hit at 352.
Langenberg deals a pitch outside, 1-1. Taylor's a freshman from Cincinnati, left-handed hitter. Co-freshman of the week a couple of weeks ago. 1-1 pitch from Ty. Ground ball to first. DeRiggi's got it. The throw to second for 1. Back to Ty at first. He's safe at first base. The runners at the corners. That was a close play at first.
Good turn there. Nice job by Ty getting over there. I think that's the left-handed hitter being able to get down the line and avoid the double play.
So runners at the corners now and 1 out. Coach Heller thinks it might have been out there at first. It's a pretty bang-bang play. We got the call yesterday. Not going to get it today.
I got a call we probably didn't deserve yesterday, but I thought he was safe at first glance. But
first pitch swinging is Brock Tibbetts. He fouled it out of play. 0-1 to start the at-bat. So Glasser's at third. Taylor is at first. Good job by Ty to get the ground ball on the last hitter. Use another one here. Indiana threatening in the first. Hawks lead 1-0. Here's the 0-1. That is outside, 1-1.
Good fastball there, just missed. I mean, that's more of what you want to see, that pitch that it's tempting. And again, if he swings at that, he's probably rolling it as a ground ball unless he just pokes it through the gap there.
Here's the 1-1 hit to Tello at third. He gloves it, throws it to second for one. On to first, double play. Got him. What a play, Raider Tello to get it started.
Raider makes the good pick. Didn't necessarily look the prettiest pulling it up, but found it in his glove, fired it over, and started a good roll as Honar is able to turn it at second.
Iowa turns another double play this weekend, holding the Hoosiers scoreless. We'll go to the second with Iowa on top 1-0. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
This copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Iowa. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
7, 8, 9, Seegers, Frazier, and Moss will be up for the Hawkeyes in the second. First pitch to Seegers is a high strike call. 0-1. Boy, a lot of good things in that inning, both halves of it. Iowa offensively getting on the board, Ty getting into a little trouble but getting out of it, and good defense behind him.
Really interesting again with the shift on Seegers, and then you throw him the breaking ball away. So you're begging him to poke it through that right side hole again. So I'm counting on Michael now to.
Well, here's a comebacker off the pitcher's leg. He'll pick it up down the third baseline. He's got no play. Seegers is on. Manasseh couldn't quite reel it in. Got him in maybe the calf, the right calf, and kicked over towards third. Seegers is on.
Yeah, looks fine. He shook off the dugout and the trainer right away, but. Good strong single again. Seegers going right back up the middle. He was actually going to hit it right into that shift, and Manasseh actually probably saves him an aggravating 4-3 ground out.
Yep. Here's Frazier. They'll check on Seegers first. So far, so good. Really liking the response from Iowa in the first full inning.
Well, and you've seen guys more aggressive at the plate. They see a pitch they like. They've been aggressively swinging at it and putting a barrel on it.
First pitch to Frazier, that is a letter high strike.
Letter plus.
Yeah. The top of the letters.
What we've seen here this weekend is we've seen a very good strike zone. We've seen kind of all parts of it called. So it's, a lot of times we see, if you picture that tic-tac-toe board, the top third of it doesn't get called all the time. And this weekend, the umpires have done a really good job of calling all 9 squares in that tic-tac-toe board.
A 1 pitch to Frazier. Line drive into the right field corner, hooking, and it is just foul.
I didn't have a good sense about that with how far Keaton slid and almost ended up foul. It that one felt like it was going to always end up foul, and it dropped a few feet over there.
I agree with you. Keaton's that he drove out there to right in the first, that one ended up hitting the line, and I thought there was no question it was going to be a fair ball. I almost did him wrong.
Yeah, you had called it fair right away. I'm like, well, that ended up being really close.
No balls and 2 strikes to Frazier. Frazier's had a pretty good series, especially defensively.
He of course, had the web gem Friday night, did a really nice job out there, made another good catch yesterday. Not quite as exciting, but the timing of it was good with the bases loaded there in the 4th inning. And that's That's what he brings. He brings a really good experience and glove out there in right field.
Down on the count, 0-2 right now. The pitch, that is outside, ball one. Went with the breaking ball. Good job by Braden to lay off of that one.
This is another one of those scouting report things. You know, they talked about when Manasseh gets ahead, they're going to see more of that splitter and spin. He's not really going to come at him with the fastball, so they're going to have to be alert for that.
Another check on Seegers, about the fourth or fifth time now, and maybe that impacts how we try to advance Michael here, knowing that you're going to get off speed. Maybe you get that splitter in the dirt. You think about Michael maybe taking off for second. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch to Frazier, swing and a miss. This one gets away from the catcher briefly, but Michael can't go anywhere. Frazier's down on strikes for out number 1.
And that was the splitter there, and it was actually a pretty good pitch. You know, it was a competitive pitch. Didn't drop way out of the strike zone, so when it came across, Frazier really had to kind of be on his game. It was certainly not one that that's one you just kind of tip your cap and walk back. You're not going to be too critical of Frazier on that one.
Bottom of the order with Cade Moss. Seegers with a good lead at first. They'll throw it over. Moss had the base hit yesterday in the 10th that we thought was going to give Iowa the lead, but a runner was tagged out at home. First pitch to Moss is high and out.
I had a good chat with Cade yesterday and asked him why he couldn't hook that ball just a little bit more to get it just that much
more spin.
Yeah, that much farther away from the left fielder to have bought Frazier a little bit more time, but
Moss is all eyes on this one. Breaking ball called a strike just below the letters. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out in the second. Hawks on top, 1-0.
It was just, now you've got me observing you. Cade had a little bit wider stance there as he steps in, a little bit more open.
Yeah, we're going to have to ask him about that too, because early in the at-bat yesterday, had a really open stance, and then later as he got deeper into the at-bat, it closed off. I don't know if it's a subconscious thing for him that just happens, or if it's an approach that occurs mid-at-bat. 1-1 to Moss. Popped up, shallow center. Whalen will come forward, look up with the help of his sunglasses, and grab it for the second out. We'll flip it over to the top of the order with Ben Wilmes.
And it might be a little bit more of a 2-strike approach, too, where you just kind of square up and know you're going to shorten your swing a little bit. Or maybe with less than 2 strikes, he's going to try to be a little bit more aggressive on that pull side and really get after something.
We'll see Wilmes again. He took it to one of the deepest parts of the park before Whalen grabbed it at the wall. His first time up. Seeger's still at first. Ben will watch this one go by for a strike. Some activity in the Indiana bullpen, but so far Manasseh's had a pretty good inning. 0-1 is the count to Wilmes. Another check on Seegers.
As we talked about in pregame, he's not a guy that's going to go real deep. Iowa did a pretty good job in the first inning of running up the pitch count a little bit, and so probably going to get him up into the mid-30s, approaching 40 here by the end of the inning. So
a 1 pitch to Wilmes, swing and a miss. 0-2.
Just swung over the top of the slider there. I'd like to see Ben now kind of go back to that more compact approach where he can kind of maybe jokingly remember he's not a power hitter here. Poke one out there. There's a lot of grass out there. Find some
just over the shortstop's head, right?
I take over the shortstop head. I take over the second baseman's head. Just a little good line drive out to right center.
Here's the 0-2. That's low and out. First ball thrown to Wilmes. I was trying to read that downward angle. It was a good block by Ceruto so that Siegs had to stay at first.
And Ceruto's not going to be able to just kind of snap pick this one. He's going to have to get over and block these, so we give Seegers a chance.
There he goes, off for second. Pitch is low and outside. Throw down is not in time. Michael will slide in safely into scoring position now for Ben Wilmes in a 2-2 count and 2 outs.
Heck of a throw there from Ceruto, but stolen base number 7 for Seegers. And now he's got it back into a spot where he can. It's not in his favor, but now that line drive single to either of the left or right center will pay off.
Ase's ready. The pitch popped out of play. Wilmus with a good hang on the breaking ball, got it out of here. It's a foul ball. He'll stay in for another shot.
It's turned into a productive at bat at the very least, and so now you want to see if you can get the payoff. We talked yesterday how Iowa had a hard time getting that really important hit. Just missed out in the first. Another chance here in the second.
The 2-2. That's outside. Ball 3. Ooh, that was close. Wilmus kind of got going on his toes a little bit, like he might swing at it, but he laid off outside. DeRiggi's on deck. Would really like to see him get up in this second inning. Full count with 2 outs. Manasseh looks in for the sign. He's got it. Pitch to Wilmus. Check swing. Did he go? No, he didn't. And we will see Brennan DeRiggi up in the second. Ball 4. Wilmus walks.
I love how they all tried to sell it. Didn't look like he went, but good job there. And I'm not sure right now if you were going to pick a guy out of the Hawkeye dugout that you'd pick a different guy than Brennan DeRiggi to come up in this spot.
Well, DeRiggi will face a new Indiana pitcher because that's going to do it for Manasseh. A really short leash on Indiana's starter today. They'll make a call to the pen. We have an idea of who it'll be. We'll get you his full name and statistics coming up right after this. Iowa leading 1-0 in the top of the second, 2 on and 2 outs. We're back with more. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Top of the second inning, 2 outs for the Hawkeyes, 2 runners on for Brennan DeRiggi, and a 1-0 lead for Iowa. They'll face off against a new Indiana pitcher. We're seeing Craig Yoho, a righty, 6'3", 225-pound redshirt senior from Fishers, Indiana. We're getting to Yoho early, already in the second inning.
Yoho's 4-0 on the season. This will be appearance number 10, a 1.69 ERA, 16 innings, 13 hits, 3 runs. They've all been earned, 7 walks, and 31 strikeouts. I don't know. This feels like a win for Iowa. The whole plan was, Manasseh goes a little bit deeper, and then they turn it over to Yoho and let him maybe finish up the last 3 innings. Obviously, you can tell 9 appearances, 16 innings. He's not a guy they're going to get 6 or 7 innings out of. His career high is 3. It hasn't pitched the last 2 years because of injury. So you're not going to run him out there really long, but it shows you how important this spot is right now to the Indiana dugout.
Right, and to see, we thought best case scenario, maybe you see him starting in the 4th or 5th. We're going to see him in the second. First pitch to DeRiggi is a called strike on the inside corner. This kind of puts a little bit of pressure on Iowa to hold their own then, right? To keep it going through the middle innings. Leading 1-0, 0-1 pitch to DeRiggi. That's high and out, ball 1. Opportunities there for the taking for the Hawkeyes.
100%. Now, Yoho's going to be, he's low 90s. He's a 92, 93, 94 guy, but a really big breaking ball. And it doesn't throw it for a strike a lot, but gets a lot of chase.
In the dirt on the 1-1. DeRiggi is sorting out Yoho.
It's Yoho again. Even the fastball's got a lot of movement on it, so a lot of runs. So that's kind of what makes him tough to hit.
2 balls and a strike. Pitch to DeRiggi. Popped it up on the infield. First baseman will come down the line. He'll reach up and grab it. 3rd out of the inning. Yoho comes in and gets the singular out that he needed to get out of the jam. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Iowa 1, Indiana 0. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Bottom of the second inning, Matheson, Colopy, and Pine due up for the Hoosiers with Iowa leading 1-0. So far to plan, it's going a little bit better than we thought for Iowa.
From an Iowa perspective, the hitters have done a really nice job. Obviously got on Manasseh quickly there. You sent him out of the game, so you accelerated Indiana's plan. Ty didn't have the greatest second inning, but got out of it unscathed, and now he needs to bounce back because he misses just low with a breaking ball there. Now he needs to bounce back out here now and throw another clean inning and get back in the dugout.
Swing and a miss on the 1-0. Matheson went for it, swung over the top of it. Ty threw 15 or so pitches in that first inning. Not too bad. 1-1. Swing and a miss again. 1-2. 84 pounding the knees there. And so, for Ty to get out of that first inning where he gave Indiana the two base runners, it's got to feel pretty good. Here's a 1-2. Check swing. Did not go. 2-2. He walked the first guy, Glasser, and then hit Whalen, and then after that forced a ton of ground balls.
Right, and that's when Ty's at his best, is that slider's down low in the...
2-2's on the ground to the right side, past a diving Sam Honar and into right for the first Indiana hit of the day, but still a ground ball.
Right, you got a good pitch. Tried to sneak a fastball there on the inner part of the plate, and Matheson went down, and good piece of hitting there as he turned on the inside fastball and pulled it out into right field.
And we were even shifted for that one a little bit too. Honar playing a little bit closer to first.
A little bit, and again, you got kind of the slow roll as Colopy gets the little bit of a standing ovation.
184 batter, and he hit his first home run of the season yesterday in the 10th. All the way down the line and hit off the foul pole.
Well, so let's
don't need to relive that.
Put it in a bit of perspective. Matheson's single there is his third hit of the series. The only other, just misses with the fastball. The only other Hoosier with multiple hits in the series is the guy at the plate right now, and he only has 3 at-bats. And he's hitting 184 on the year.
2-0 pitch from Langenberg is outside, ball 3. Yeah, Colopy was in the starting lineup early and then effectively got benched. And I guess he earned a spot back in today after hitting the walk-off home run yesterday. 3-1 is the count after a fastball from Ty finds the zone.
And this has been the interesting thing about Ty is, it's really good, it's really good, it's really good, and then there's like a batter that just misses the zone.
Yeah.
So he battles back here to get it to 3-2 on the swing and miss. But again, we talk a lot about it with Brody and Marcus, but the concept applies. You hate seeing Ty run up his pitch count and just kind of wasting some of those.
3-2 is low and out, so he battled all the way back and then ends up walking Colopy anyway. So a couple runners on for Indiana, just like the first. They got their first 2 on in the inning. And now it'll take some strong efforts by Langenberg and the Iowa defense to get out of trouble here. 1-0 Iowa in the bottom of the second. Batter's Josh Pine in their 7th spot, right-handed hitter.
Pine's made a ton of contact this weekend, but doesn't have anything to show for it yet.
Langenberg's first pitch to him is off the plate outside. Noticing anything from Ty's delivery this inning that's a little bit different than the first?
No, I just feels like everything is Ty isn't looking up yet. Everything's just they're generally competitive. He's just missing everything into that left-handed edge of the batter's box there, and as he's tried to attack the two right-handers, he did a good job with Matheson. Matheson just got a good hit on him, but the two right-handers here, he's just had a hard time getting that fastball where he wants it.
The mound visit from Cade Moss will allow Luke Llewellyn to get down to the bullpen and start getting loose. So, Indiana's probably feeling the same way that we're feeling about Yoho getting into the game early. If you get Llewellyn going in the pen. 1-0 pitch is fouled back to the pad, 1-1.
Yeah, I heard the Hawkeye coaches talking this morning. If they really want to get Llewellyn in this series, and so they wanted kind of the first high leverage spot. He was probably the guy that was going to get the call.
1 ball and 1 strike. Nobody out. Runners at first and second. The pitch is above the eyes. 2-1.
And then with your whole bullpen available, leashes aren't going to be real long, and you saw that with Indiana. That'll apply into the Iowa dugout and bullpen as well.
Sure. Langenberg checks on the runner at second. The 2-1 is inside, ball 3. Now Ty's got to be careful. Pine has a few extra base hits on the season, but the wind blowing out of here to left, you never know. 3 balls and a strike. Pitch from Langenberg. Popped up down the right field line. DeRiggi's moving over into foul territory. He's got it for out number 1. That's a big out right there. Fortunate.
You feel like you stole one there if you're Iowa, and that wasn't well hit, was probably going to be foul, so it wasn't going to be a base hit or anything, but flared into no man's land down there, and DeRiggi did a good job popping off the bag, running back there to make the catch, and then got back and held Matheson at second base as well.
Yeah, it's a good job by DeRiggi to finish the play. It wasn't finished when he caught it. He had to make sure that there was no tag, even though the only way you would tag would be if you catch somebody sleeping there. First pitch to Cerny, swing and a miss. This is a big spot for Ty. You get out of this again and maybe get some confidence to stick around and stay in there. Just putting yourself into a couple of pressure situations. No balls in a strike with 1 out. Runners at first and second for Indiana in the second. The pitch, ground ball to second. Honar's got it. Flip to second for 1, on to first. No throw. They're going to throw it home. It's an accurate throw from Seegers. Got him at the plate. Ha-ha! What a play. Michael Seegers.
It was fun. I was talking to a communication guy for Indiana today, and I said how surprised I was that Michael Seegers threw the ball in the 9th inning yesterday, because he usually fakes the throw. I said it never works because he fakes it and nobody follows it. In that case, they were full green light the whole way, expecting him to throw it. Seegers came down, made a good throw in, and had him by a mile at home plate.
Well, how about that? An unconventional double play to end the second. We'll go to the third with Iowa on top 1-0. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. But what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
It's a rare 4-6-2 double play to end the second inning. A ground ball hit to Honar, and he took a little time getting it out of his glove, flipped it to Seegers for the first out, and by the time Michael grabbed it, he continued with the play, didn't give up on it. There was no play at first. The runner had rounded third. Easy throw home.
Well, so Honar was shifted a little bit, and so he was a little bit out of position. It was sharply hit by the time he got to the spot.
Here's Keaton Anthony, first pitch swinging, fair ball into the left field corner. Keaton's rounding first, headed for second. He's got a hustle. Here comes the throw. He's safe with a stand-up double to start the third.
Love seeing the aggressiveness there. Got a high fastball inside part of the plate. And again, that's the pitch you love to see Keaton pull. You talk about two doubles now. One painted the right field line, one painted the left field line, and that's when Keaton's at his best, is attacking where the pitch is instead of kind of deciding where he wants to go.
Now we'll see Raider Tello, and in the meantime, John, just to finish your thought on the double play.
The quick finish there was Honar had a hard time pulling it out of his glove, so when Seegers came across the bag, good pitch there for a strike. He was never throwing that to first, but having seen kind of how we play, third base coach had given the runner the full go, and Matheson's aggressive. Curveball misses way wide. And Seegers, who then was able to kind of regroup and see where he needed to go, made a really good throw. A lot of times you get that time to think about it, and it's almost bad you sail it. Threw it in there, Moss with a good tag.
1-1 pitch to Tello, waved at and missed, 1-2.
And that's what we talked about with, if you see a spinner that starts anywhere on the plate, you've got to take it. That ball had 23 inches of break.
Really good pitch from Yoho. This one gets Tello in the hand, and he's going to be awarded first base, but we're more concerned about the health of Tello right now. That got him in the hand. He's doubled over in the batter's box.
I think you brought this to fruition the other day. So we've talked about how Iowa's thin on the infield as well, and where
it's going to be on the wrist, hand. We've got Jake, our trainers, out there, along with Coach Heller in the batter's box. Marty Sutherland's come out as well. Boy, we hope Raiders okay.
Yeah, and that wasn't the spinner. That was the 93-mile-an-hour fastball that got away from Yoho up and in.
Still waiting as Tello is on a knee in the batter's box. Hasn't left it yet. I'm not sure if it's the right or the left.
You got so many little bones in your hand, and they're not equipped to take a 93-mile-an-hour fastball.
Trainer Jake still tending to Tello in the box. Iowa leading Indiana 1-0 in the top of the third. Anthony's at second. Tello will be at first. We'll see if he stays in the game. And it looks like he's going to. They're looking at his right hand. And we just hope that he's all right. You don't want to speculate or anything, but you just hope he's more startled than anything. I know it definitely hit him, but nothing too severe, we're hoping.
Yeah, some of those times it's a okay, that really hurt. I'm really scared, and then okay, it just hurt. It didn't injure anything, and so that's what we're kind of rooting for now. And obviously, it's nice that it's Sunday, because then that way, if he can finish today, then maybe everything shakes out, because almost guarantee he's going to have some swelling in the hand one way or the other, and so.
They're still taking a good look at him now as Tello's gotten to first base. It'd get really interesting if Raider would have to come out of the game.
Yeah, Gable Mitchell is your main infielder on the bench. Ben Wilmus has played some infield, so you could shuffle around a little bit that way, move him back to the infield. But you're thin on outfielders as well.
Nice round of applause from the Indiana fans that are in attendance today, along with the Iowa contingent down to the right. Looks like Raiders going to be okay for now. He stands at first. Anthony's at second. Nobody out in the inning. Here's Sam Honar. Honar brought in the only Iowa run today. First pitch to Sam is a curveball outside for a ball.
And that's, Sam will really have to pay attention to that. It's a little easier for Yoho to throw it. It's going to look like a non-competitive pitch, and that ball's got 23 inches of sweep.
Swing and a miss at the next one. Fastball that was high, but in the zone. Got time called quickly, and a little something protective for Tello over there at first. He's got to apply a sliding mitt on his right hand.
And no need to do any extra damage trying to slide here, but
yeah,
that's what makes Yoho so difficult. 74-mile-an-hour floater outside, 93-mile-an-hour fastball at the letters.
Honar squares the bunt and hit it foul.
He got a great pitch to bunt,
right down the middle.
Although I say that, and you look at the action on Yoho's fastball, and so there is still a lot of movement, but just kind of got a little stabby with the bunt there instead of just kind of trying to catch it with the bat.
1-2's tapped foul towards the Iowa dugout on the first base side. Go back to that breaking ball that Yoho has. Coming in the back door might be a tougher pitch than the one that sweeps away from you, because you probably almost give up on it.
Correct, and so that's where Sam will have to have that opposite field approach. He comes up and heats him up with the fastball again for the first out.
Swing and a miss. Sam's out number one. We'll see Huckstorf now, who really crushed a ball back in the first. Just the way I think at it, that the scout is easy to say, hey, if that pitch is outside, starts outside, it's going to go way outside. But one that to lefties, you say, hey, it's going to start outside, but it's going to come back in at 20 inches or whatever it might be. That's tough. First pitch to Huckstorf, up and in, almost hit him. Ball one.
94-mile-an-hour fastball up around the chin.
2 on with 1 out. Pitch to Huckstorf, swing and a miss. That one got the umpire. Foul tipped into the umpire. Boy, everybody's taking a beating today.
Yeah, we're having ourselves a game here so far.
So the catcher, Ceruto, will walk out and talk with the pitcher for a moment as the home plate umpire, he's doubled over himself. He's removed his mask. Might send a trainer or two to come out and check on the umpire.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. There we go. Indiana trainer's coming out now with a drink of water and a towel, but
that one caught him. And the cup of water will try to help him out a bit.
Yeah,
boy, I tell you.
I mean, and that's such a difficult, just completely defenseless. You're sitting in there, you're locked in. The ball gets just foul tipped and ricochets off the bat, off the top of Ceruto's glove, and doesn't get slowed down near enough as it catches the umpire. So
this game has come to a screeching halt in the third. Still checking on the home plate umpire. Well, in the meantime, before we get things started up again, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Okay, Scott Klein appears to be all right and ready to resume action, so that's what we'll do. And a 1-1 count to Huckstorf with 1 out. The pitch to him. Breaking ball outside. Ball 2.
Maybe he's angry at the...
Maybe.
You guys hit me.
Iowa leading 1-0 in the top of the third. Pitch to Kyle. Outside, off the plate. Ball 3.
Really good discipline there from Kyle to spit on both of those curveballs. It's hard for the crowd. The crowd can't get too mad at him. He just took one off the face. Come on. At least give him 3 or 4 pitches to recover.
Here's a chopper to third. Pine slides, tags Anthony. Didn't have the ball in his glove, did he? Throws it to first. Not out at first. Huckstorf beats it. I'm not sure that Pine had the ball in his glove when he tagged Anthony at third. They're going to call him out.
And Keaton's saying the same thing. You could probably argue that Keaton was out of the baseline.
Oh. Maybe that's the case because there's no argument from Coach Heller. So, that's probably the decision. Still runners at first and second, but this time with 2 outs for Seegers.
Huck got the fastball he was looking for.
Seegers lines this into right field. It is caught by Colopy for the 3rd out of the inning. Iowa 1, Indiana 0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oaknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Your husband is pretty handy to have around. He makes the world's best mac and cheese.
Lunch is ready.
He's in the Tickle Monster Hall of Fame. And he can teach anyone how to throw strikes. But a busted pipe and a basement full of water?
Honey, I think we need a plumber.
Is a little out of his league. That's where a homeowner's policy from Shelter Insurance comes in handy. We'll help get your house back in order and your husband back to what he does best.
Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
(9-1-2) due up for Indiana. In the bottom of the third, Iowa leading 1-0. It's imperative that we get Cerruto out before we turn things over to the top of the order, isn't it? Got to get the 9-hitter out.
You'd like to think so. Not sure the game will hang in the balance if we don't get him out. But
you're right.
But it's certainly, Ty's put the first two guys on in both of the first two innings, and you'd like to see that get a little cleaner because, one for his game longevity and even though it's 34 pitches, right now what you hate to see about the mix, 17 balls, 17 strikes. And they've been high-stress pitches. It hasn't been – we talked about it a little bit yesterday with Marcus, how he just kind of cruised through, and Senard was the same way, where there really weren't any big leverage moments that you were worried about. And so it'd be important for Ty to jump on this one early.
Out of the windup, his first pitch to Cerruto is a base hit into right. Leadoff single for Cerruto, who hasn't really done a ton this series.
Hasn't done a ton this season at 218,
yeah.
So – that was just a barreled up pitch. He took Ty's fastball up and away and just lined it out kind of away from the shift. Good piece of hitting, and not that Honar would have caught it if he was in the right spot. But
both teams have had runners in each inning, but just a 1-0 ball game in the bottom of the third. Top of the order with Glasser. First pitch, he squares to bunt, and he tried to pull it back, but he connected on it and hit it foul.
Yeah, caught a spinner up high. And
he walked in the first. Langenberg comes set. Long pause. Now the 0-1. That's off the plate outside, 1-1.
A little surprised they didn't score him again. Glasser's obviously an explosive hitter as well, but good chance to move him along.
Yeah, now he squares to bunt, puts it down the first base side, and hits it foul. Surprised that you went to the first base side there instead of third and challenged Tello with the hand injury.
Well, and we talked about it between innings. If I'm coming up to the plate as a guy that can run a little bit, I am going to just see how his hands are doing over there, and it fits into the sacrifice mold as well.
A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch from Langenberg that drops out. Ball 2.
But that one almost looked like he was bunting more for a hit, kind of trying to just drag it with him down first. But
runner at first for Indiana in the third. Iowa on top 1-0. Here's the 2-2. Fouled back into the net. Ty with 40 pitches. Got a lot of ground balls hit. Iowa's turned a couple of double plays today. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Glasser. The pitch from Langenberg. Chopper up the middle. Seegers will grab it. Step on the bag himself. Throw to first. Another double play.
Well played there. Seegers had to kind of chop step. He had to time that well to get it so that he could just hit the bag, pull right across. And we've had it happen a couple times in the Hawkeyes where it felt like you had an inning going, you get a guy picked off or something, and kind of get that there as you had the top of the order coming up. Hawks get that ground ball that they needed, and again, that's where Ty's at his best. Keeps that ball down. gets the ground ball. Hawkeye defense does the work behind him.
Iowa's turned a double play in every inning so far. Now we'll see Whalen with the bases empty and 2 outs. First pitch to him drifts in for a ball. So we had a 5-4-3, we had a 4-6-2, and now a 6-3 double play.
Even that was a little unusual.
Right. None of them have been overly conventional. I guess the 5-4-3 Tello to Honar to DeRiggi was, but
it was the rocket he had to pick out of the ground.
Yeah, that was maybe the toughest one.
Yeah, it made it a little less conventional.
A ball and a strike to Whalen. The pitch outside corner. Nice spot from Langenberg. 1-2. Ty does not have a strikeout today. Now would be a good time for one. We'd take it.
And Whalen is one of those high strikeout guys.
Got him. Right on cue. Langenberg with his first strikeout, a swing and a miss at a pitch high in the zone. We've played 3 in Bloomington. Hawks up 1-0. Listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Ah, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
At Mid-American Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Top of the 4th inning at Bart Kaufman Field. Thank you for joining us for Iowa Hawkeye Baseball on this Easter Sunday in southern Indiana. Iowa leading the Hoosiers 1-0. Try to add to the lead right now with Frazier, Moss, and Wilmus due up for the black and gold.
So what did we have yesterday? Yesterday we played 20 innings and we had the leadoff guy get on base 1 time.
Yeah.
This time we're 5 out of 6 so far.
5 out of 6. Frazier's the first batter, and a called strike on the outside corner to start him off. Another thing we kind of think about, yesterday, through an hour of game time, we were, in the 5th?
Late
5th?
We were flying along yesterday. It felt like those first 3 innings took about 10 minutes.
A ball and a strike to the Hawkeye right fielder today. Frazier struck out back in the 2nd. Grounds this to 3rd. Pine will glove it with the backhand. Step and throw. Out number 1.
When to kind of finish that thought, we were back on the bus yesterday by noon game. We lose in the bottom of the 10th, and we're back on the bus by at 2:40. So it was.
Most games aren't even to the 9th by then.
Yeah, I'd love to say that was the new and improved pitch clock speeding up the game, but it was outstanding pitching and not a lot of bonus traffic.
See Cade Moss stand in now. First pitch to him is a strike, high in the zone. Moss flied out to center, back in the 2nd. Ooh, 0-1. That had a lot of break to it. That one looked like it was going right for Moss's batting helmet.
Well, and that's what you're going to see is basically for him to throw that curveball on the inside part of the plate, you're going to have to throw it behind him.
Moss is doing a great job in the box. He's worked a 2-1 count. That thing had a lot of movement and just missed outside.
Because you could see Hawkeye hitters kind of crowd the plate a little bit, really try to take away that inside part of the plate from him.
He comes in with a fastball there. Good pitch, 2-2.
And that's where when he pops that one then. But again, he's not really going to probably throw that inside. You've seen him lose control of it a couple times inside already.
Yoho's 2-2. That's high, ball 3. Top of the order, Ben Wilmus is on deck.
Good at-bat here from Moss. See if he can finish it off. Three balls, 2 strikes, the pitch. That's high, ball 4.
Another base runner for Iowa. The Hawkeyes have had somebody on in each of the first 4 innings.
And that's Cade Moss at his best right there. Hawkeyes have a few hitters like that, but really works the count well. Handles the bat, keeps a good eye. Obviously, as the catcher, knows where the strike zone is. You see if the Hawks play a little short game here with Wilmus, but again, this ball's not an easy ball to bunt.
First pitch to Wilmus is a called strike on the outside corner, right on the edge. I just as well think that, maybe put a little pressure on Indiana's infield to make a play. Consider the bunt here. Check on Moss at first. Pine really struggled on Friday over there. He had a couple of errors.
Well, and you've got you have a right-hander on the mound, so it'll be harder to push bunt to second there, but.
A one pitch to Wilmus. That's inside, but called a strike. Yep, caught the inside corner, 0-2.
About 29 inches of horizontal break as he starts it basically in outside of Ben's back pocket, breaks it all the way in and catches that inside part of the plate.
Pitch to Wilmus. That's in the dirt. Moss can't go anywhere. Counts 1-2.
I mean, this is where it's, if you can find any tell at all, to be able to see the difference between 92 and 76, just to give yourself a chance.
Moss with a good lead at first. And they'll throw over. Close play. He's safe.
We were kind of laughing yesterday about how many times they threw over when he was still basically standing on the bag. He's got a good lead now.
He's improved it. A ball and 2 strikes. The pause, the pitch to Wilmus. That's in the dirt again. 2-2. And as you mentioned about Moss doing what he does best, this is prime Ben Wilmus right here. He got down 0-2 basically, or got to 2 strikes nearly right away, and now he's working an even count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch. Yep, there it is, the breaking ball. Called third strike, 2 down.
And that's the tough one, but he starts it kind of at you, and it snaps 23 inches and broke right across the middle. But, boy, the other side of that is he hung it. And that's one that if it's coming, if you can identify it at all, that you can put a barrel on that and drive it somewhere.
2 outs in the Hawkeye fourth. First pitch to Derigi. That one is inside, almost hit him, and I think Brennan's a little bit irritated that he didn't let it. That breaking ball that just dive bombed toward his shins. Quick check on Moss. Derigi has been walked. He scored the only run of today's game. That came in the first. 1-0 pitch on its way to Derigi. There's the backdoor breaking ball. 1-1.
Cerruto still, it catches me every time. A lot of times you see catchers kind of fire it back. They get their feet. He wrong foots it back to the pitcher more often than not.
Break the rhythm, break the momentum.
As he kind of, he's walking, he's got his right foot forward. He throws it kind of little lob with his right hand. He really desperately wants to throw to a base, but we haven't seen him do that yet.
1-1. That's high and out. Ball 2.
I think I'd like him. He's got a lot of animation to him back there. He might be a good guy to talk to and have some fun with.
He's been very consistent behind the plate for Indiana this weekend. 2-1 to Brennan. That floats high, ball 3. Got Keaton Anthony on deck, who's 2 for 2 today with a couple of doubles. A double in Anthony's next at bat, if it comes in the fourth, would bring home an Iowa run. 3 balls and a strike to Derigi. Got to get there first. Throw over again towards Moss.
Is Brennan taking? Not intended. Will he be so particular that he takes it?
I think he does.
Okay, I agree with you.
Here comes the 3-1. He's taking, and it's a strike, 3-2.
And it was the breaking ball, so I'm perfectly good with him taking now. You got to kind of see which way they do the shift a little bit different this time. They left the shortstop there. He just walked over to the other side of second. Third baseman still in his home.
Moss will get moving on the pitch. Not before another throw over to first.
Well, we came into the series knowing Indiana picks more than any team we'll see all year, and they have lived up to that billing and then some.
I hope nobody picks more than them that we have to see. Here's the 3-2. Lifted into shallow left. It's actually carrying well towards the wall, but Taylor is there, and he'll grab it for the third out of the inning. Another base runner for Iowa, but stranded. And so we'll go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Iowa 1, Indiana nothing. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4-Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatkirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Bart Kaufman Field in Bloomington, Indiana. Another nice game so far. We're in the bottom of the fourth. Hawks on top 1-0, making a defensive change. Raider Tello coming out of the game at third. And the freshman Gable Mitchell, he'll be inserted into some big-time action. He'll go into third from Iowa City.
I'm going to have to ask Brian or Gable, is this the first time that Gable's hit cleanup?
Yeah, no kidding. And he's gonna go right in where Raider was, and we'll see him in the fifth when we get there. Yeah, we talked about it too much. The depth on the team, the depth on the infield. What would happen if I shouldn't even say we, John. It was mainly me. As Taylor swings at the first pitch, base hit into right.
Ty tried to sneak the fastball by. Taylor was having none of that and got his second hit of the series as he lined it out into right field.
And so now, in every half inning, each team's had a runner on.
In every half inning, in every Indiana half inning, they've put the leadoff guy on, so they haven't wasted any time doing it.
Got to work out of trouble again. Here's Brock Tibbetts. First pitch to him is way outside, ball one.
The fact is you can't turn 9 double plays unless you put a guy on base.
There you go. And that would be some sort of record, so maybe that's what we're going for today, huh?
It's an interesting approach. Let's see how it plays out, Cotton.
Tibbetts did hit into one, and he hits this to third. Mitchell will glove it, but it's just foul over the bag, and that would not have been a double play. It would have been a long throw for Mitchell over there.
We were going to test the new guy.
Yeah.
I've seen Gable play catch, though. I do not want to play catch with him. He throws it hard.
Every time.
Every time.
This guy's got a motor. It doesn't turn off. I don't even think it turns off when he sleeps.
I don't know if he has a 90% part of the dial.
1-1, check swing. He went around. Even if he didn't go around, it was close enough.
I think everything on Gable is 100% full tilt, and there's no slightly reduced pace.
He sleeps in his baseball cleats, keeps the eye black on. Here's the 1-2 from Langenberg. It's on its way home. Line drive into center. Hucksdorf sprinting forward. He caught it. He's going to try to throw it to first to double him up, and we got him! How about that double play?
8-3 double play, number 4.
Are you kidding me? The fourth double play of the game for Iowa, and this one gets started in the outfield.
Well, you got to keep doing them different ways, too. That's the fun part right now is we're seeing how many different ways the Hawkeyes can turn to double play. And quite frankly, that is terrible base running as that ball carried all the way out there and to not go, he got almost 2/3, 3/4 of the way to second. That ball misses low. And you've got to be able to see how far that ball's going and know you're only going to get to second base anyway, so there's no reason to test it.
Matheson will pop this one up down the left field line. Mitchell giving chase. And it will be dropped by Ben Wilmus in foul territory. He came forward. Mitchell was struggling with it down the line, and Wilmus dropped it. Hopefully that doesn't come back to sting the Hawkeyes. In the bottom of the fourth, Iowa leading 1-0, 1-1 count with 2 outs to Matheson.
That's a really, I mean, I guess I'll say not to make excuses and then I'll make one. With a left-handed hitter, that is a super long run with the wind pushing it away from Wilmus. But boy, when you want to see him get.
1-1, chopper to the right side. DeRiggi will field it. Got to hurry to first, and not in time. Langenberg wasn't on the base.
And again, that's a fundamental error there on Ty. He was kind of slow coming off the base, didn't really run over there. He was just kind of trying to time it up, and then when he got there, couldn't stab his foot, and you know, the drop ball in left field and missing the base here is going to cost him a handful of pitches.
Yeah, at the very best, a few more pitches. Hopefully nothing more than that. Maybe we can get Colopy out on one. Here's the pitch from Langenberg. Swing and a miss. Chase that one. Looked like it might have been outside. And that was a really tough ground ball, by the way, to the right side, because it's probably too far for Honar to come all the way up and get it. 0-1, swing and a miss again. Good job from Langenberg. Maybe he's a little bit frustrated, throwing it a little harder.
Well, he's at 94 there. Yeah, the Chopper Matheson hit was going to be a tough play all day long, but need to make sure you seal it up.
Long pause from Langenberg. Here's the 0-2. Just off the plate outside. Good spot with the fastball, and it's 1-2.
Good pitch. He'd gotten him to chase that one for the first strike of the at-bat, so probably a good place. Got it up high where he could see it and missed just off the plate.
Langenberg feels it and deals it. Swing and a miss. Way behind the 94-mile-an-hour heater on the outside corner. And another strikeout for Langenberg, just his second of the day, but Ty's dealing now. We've played 4 in Bloomington. Iowa 1, Indiana nothing. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Ooh, got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now, kids can eat free.
Top of the 5th inning, Iowa 1, Indiana nothing. We'll see Yoho again, and it'll be Anthony, Mitchell, and Honar. For the Hawkeyes, we'll get our first look at Gable Mitchell in the batter's box. I feel like we haven't seen Gable in quite some time, and so excited to see what he's got.
That would seem to be accurate. I don't remember probably a midweek game that he snuck into. I don't remember him getting into a weekend series. Ohio's been relatively fortunate to be able to stand pat with the offense, and the guys have been, or with the infield defense, and they've been solid enough on offense that you haven't shifted them around any.
Anthony's 2 for 2. Got a pair of doubles. Starting off the 5th with a double would be awfully nice. Infield shifted for him. 0-1 is the count. Yoho's next pitch. Low outside corner, 0-2.
Yeah, I really kind of want to see Keaton jump on those fastballs, but easy for me to say sitting up here.
0-2 is the breaking ball that's in the opposite batter's box.
Yeah, if the Hawkeyes tie the double play record, I think they should get it just on the variety of double plays they've turned today.
Different one every time. Here's the 1-2. That is outside. Wow, the catcher popped up and was ready to send it down to third. Thought they rung up Anthony, but no cigar. 2-2.
Cerruto went full sell on that outside fastball. Didn't get the pitch. But again, I like I like the animation.
Yeah, his pitcher might not like that if he doesn't get the next call. Here's the 2-2 to Anthony. Ground ball to the left side. This is a tough play. The third baseman cuts it off. Throw to first is in time. Good play from Pine.
I suppose if you're Pine, you do that because you're not used to Glasser being right there, but that's probably an easier play for Glasser right there as he's got his feet set and coming. Pine had to throw that ball on the run as he was coming across, and so
usually in those modes you like the third baseman to cut off the shortstop, but that one was so deep that he still had to kind of turn and angle back towards first.
Right, he was angled away from the throw, which made it difficult.
So now we'll see Gable Mitchell inserted into the game for Raider Tello, who was hit by a pitch in the third.
Hey, you call him the correct name, cleanup hitter.
There we
Gable
go.
Mitchell.
Yes. Let's see the power that Gable has. He's worked a 2-0 count. Gable's a switch hitter, batting from the left side this time. All-state selection last year in the Class 4A, All-State captain. He hit .466 as a senior in high school. 2-0 pitch is high and away, 3-0. So you got Yoho, who's like their best pitcher, and he can't throw a strike to Gable Mitchell right now.
I don't know. I didn't see Coach Heller flash any signs, but I can almost guarantee there's some version of a take sign on here.
Here's the 3-0. That one is a strike.
And I'm 75-25. There's one on right here.
Even now, right?
Yep.
That's going to be tough for Mitchell, who, as we've talked about, has got that charged up battery most of the time. Here's the 3-1 to Gable. That's high and out. Ball four. Good job by Gable Mitchell. Didn't have to swing the bat, and it's because he didn't see any strikes.
You know, Yoho's going to reach a career high in innings or in pitches this inning. So if the Hawkeyes can just extend the inning a little bit, it's probably the last time you're going to see him. Although he's been relatively stress-free. The Hawks have had traffic every inning.
Yep, keeping that going into the fifth. Mitchell's at first. Here's Honar. They'll check on Gable over there. He'll dive back safely. The Hawkeyes with 3 hits. Indiana with 4, but Iowa has the lead.
Gable has good speed, but Yoho's quick to the plate unless you know you're going to get that loopy curveball.
And Yoho, noticing missing wildly now. That one was way outside to Honar. We'll get a mound visit, and I think that probably has to do with his duration that he's been in the game, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, that's, you know, he missed the last two seasons from injuries, didn't pitch in his first 2 years. So you look at him and you go, gosh, he's a fifth-year senior, but he hasn't thrown tons and tons of pitches. And when you've got a guy this effective coming back from injury, the last thing they're going to want to do is overuse him as well. But I don't think the guy in the bullpen is ready to go either. So
it's just tossing as it is right now.
Yeah, I think their plan is going to be get Yoho through this inning, make a handoff to the bullpen the rest of the way. But with the American flag numbers, I have a hard time reading what the
really
numbers
hard.
are. I really think they're cool. I just have a really hard time reading them.
Yes.
I'm a big fan. I just can't see them from a distance.
Yeah, Indiana with their red uniforms and the red, white, and blue United States flag on their numbers and letters. Honar swinging at the first pitch again. That one.
Well, he'd taken the ball before, but
yeah. But this next one was not even close. And he offered that. They've been pounding the low outside corner to him. He just hasn't quite figured it out in the series. Here's the 1-1. He chops this to first. Thrown to second. Off the bag. He's going to be safe at second. Poor throw by the first baseman, and the Hawkeyes catch a break.
Couldn't, that ball had 2 written all over it, but Tibbetts made a bad throw. I still thought Whalen was going to be able to, or I'm sorry, Glasser was going to be able to toe tap his way back there, but couldn't quite find it. And again, that's good hustle from Mitchell to not give up on the play, to go ahead and run it all the way out, and then to not slide short. A lot of times now with the new rules, you see guys not slide into the base, but he recognized that Glasser was having a hard time, so he got all the way to the base so that when the ball got there, he was there.
Got to make this one hurt here. Huckstorf's a good candidate to do that. Fouls off the first pitch.
Huck saw fastball and swung at it. Loved the aggressiveness. That's what he did in his first at-bat when he gave it a ride to left field. Just didn't quite get enough of it. And in that one, he just missed and went off the top of the barrel.
A 1 pitch to Kyle. That goes behind him. It'll get to the backstop. Hawkeyes will be able to advance up to second and third now. That one slipped way out of the hand. That didn't go just barely behind him. That went more behind him than Kyle's standing closer to the plate.
That ball was closer to, boy, I'm not even sure what, to draw a right analogy for the radio, that ball was outside of the left-handed side of the right-handed batter's box.
There you go. You nailed it.
And a 70-mile-an-hour floater.
Here's the 1-1. Another breaking ball. That is outside.
And that's, that pitch is probably a strike, but you've got the umpire completely fooled with what happened on the last pitch.
Talk about changing eye levels. 2 balls and a strike. Runners at second and third. Pitch to Huckstorf way outside. Ball 3. We'll see Seegers stand in the on-deck circle for the Hawkeyes, trying to do some damage in the top of the 5th, leading Indiana 1-0 in the rubber game of the series.
Come on, Kyle.
Yoho will toe the third base side of the rubber. He's ready. Here comes the 3-1 to Huckstorf. Swing and a miss. 3-2 over the top of the off speed, right down the middle.
He got the curveball. He knew it was coming. Just missed it. Good job there from Yoho to having a hard time command. And now you got to decide, is he going to try to dot the outside corner with that fastball, or is he going to try to bury a curveball?
Full count pitch.
Buried the curveball.
Called third strike. High and inside corner. Couldn't have gone any higher, couldn't have gone any more inside. Huckstorf down on strikes.
And I mean, that's, I hate it for Huck, but that's one you're just going to have to tip your cap to again, because you're not swinging at that pitch.
Had a changeup. I don't know if that was a breaking ball.
It had 19 inches of move on it.
Oh man.
Just not a pitch he's gonna take a rip at and effectively do anything with. So hard to blame him for doing that. You hate not getting the runners in after you got the break, but leave it up to Seegers.
Come on, Michael. Here we go with 2 outs. First pitch to him is the breaking ball, called strike. Sweeps all the way across the zone, starts at the shoulder and drops in for strike number 1. 2 outs in the inning, runners at second and third. Iowa leading 1-0 in the 5th. If you see that again, just throw the hands and maybe shoot it to right. Here's the 0-1. Same pitch, same spot, same result, 0-2.
And I mean, that's the Hawkeye game plan, is if he throws that spinner, he doesn't throw it that often for strikes. Unfortunately, the last 3 pitches the Hawkeyes have seen.
Here's the fastball that's hit on the ground to third. Pine scoops it up, throw on the run, got him at first.
Pine likes to throw on the run. He isn't really interested in setting his feet.
Yeah, he's turned around his weekend. Indiana gets out of the jam in the top of the 5th. Still 1-0. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong Team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong Team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Zipping right along in Bloomington, bottom of the 5th inning, Iowa on top of Indiana 1-0. And the Hoosiers will send 7, 8, 9, Pine, Cerny, and Ceruto to the batter's box. Face off against Ty Langenberg, who's settled in. The Hoosiers have gotten the leadoff man of every inning on. to start, so we'll try to break that trend. The other trend that's going on right now is that Iowa's turned 4 double plays, 1 in each inning, and all of varying combinations. A 5-4-3 in the first, a 4-6-2 in the second, a 6-3 in the third, and an 8-3 in the fourth.
Odd, to say the least.
As much as I love all the double plays, we could use a 1-2-3 inning. Mixing one of those in wouldn't be too bad. First pitch from Langenberg is outside to Pine. Pine popped up to DeRiggi to back in the second.
With a couple guys on.
Yeah. Here's one driven back out of the stadium.
Yeah, if you're Hawkeye hitters, you're probably happy to see that I would guess that's Yoho's last inning. Maybe he'll come back out.
1-1's a ground ball to the left side. Seegers charges hard. Glove to hand to DeRiggi. Got him.
Good
First
play.
out.
Good play there from Seegers. And the Hawkeyes finally set down the leadoff hitter in an inning.
That puts the double play streak at risk. Going back to your thought on the, on the offense, I thought we did pretty well against that pitcher.
Well, and that's, Hawkeyes have created a lot of traffic. Just 3 hits, but they've drawn 5 walks, which, again, after yesterday's performance.
First pitch has popped up. We'll get back to that in a moment. Seegers is going back. Wilmus is still coming forward. Ben looks up, and he'll grab this one. 2 down.
After yesterday's performance, the high strikeout really kind of got away from what they were good at, of knowing where the strike zone was. You're still struck out 4 times today. You've seen 5 walks already against good control pitchers. And so done a good job there. The problem now is you look at it, 1 for 14 with runners on base and 0 for 8 with runners in scoring position. So you're going to have to get a little bit better there.
That'd be today's frustration.
In baseball, it's always something.
There's always a little something. 1-0 pitch from Langenberg to Ceruto. This one's driven down the line and left. Get foul. It is fair. Right on the line into the corner. Wilmus will pick it up and get it in. It'll be a 2-out double for Ceruto.
That's just a good piece of hitting there. Ty left a changeup kind of in the middle of the plate. Ceruto was fooled again. We saw that one turn into the home run yesterday as he golfed that one down the left field line. Fortunately, he didn't have enough juice to get it out, but did have it a few feet inside the left field foul line, and so that'll bring the top of the order up with a chance to tie the game.
That thing was spinning and spinning and spinning, but decided to get down before getting foul. It's now a little threat for Indiana with a runner at second and 2 outs. Here's Glasser, first pitch low. Glasser today walked in the first, hit into a double play in the third. Pitch from Ty, that's outside, ball 2. I don't know if I see really any loosening in the bullpen. There are a couple bodies down there, but nobody's throwing at the time.
Somebody just took the sweatshirt back off, may start tossing a ball around.
2-0 to Glasser, it dropped low, ball 3.
Might see a bit more urgency here if we get a 4-pitch walk again.
Langenberg comes set with the 3-0. Pitch at the knees, strike 1.
It's a good pitch. Glasser was about to throw the bat back to the dugout, but fastball right at the knees.
Find a way out of this one, Ty. 3-1 pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Honar, he'll grab it. He'll throw it to first. Got him in time for the 3rd out. Indiana will strand a runner after a 2-out double by Ceruto. And we'll head to the 6th with Iowa still winning 1-0. It's Hawkeye baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Woo!
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But you know, the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
Top of the sixth inning, Iowa on top of Indiana 1-0. We'll see a new pitcher for the Hoosiers. It'll be Wes Burton. He's a righty. I got to figure out a new thing to say because this guy is 6'8". I don't want to keep having to say tall righty, but there's just no other way to put it. 6'8". Graduate student from Santa Monica, California. Spent some time at Ole Miss, so we'll see Wes Burton now.
Sixth appearance on the season for the Hoosiers. Does have a save. Hasn't given up an earned run in 6 1/3 innings. Has allowed 1 hit, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. My guess is what Indiana saw yesterday from Sinnard. They saw the big 6'8" guy throwing it down at the Hawkeyes. Hawkeyes had a really hard time hitting it. Figure, hey, let's bring Burton in because he's going to look pretty close to the same over-the-top delivery. So you put 6'8" in there. He's going to be throwing it from north of 7 feet tall, bringing it down. Upper 80s fastball. He's going to have a little slider that just kind of spins. So Hawkeyes are going to have to really do a good job of trying to get him to push that slider or fastball down in the zone and then understand that it's going to be a little bit of everywhere. So be ready, be alert, and when you get the one you like, drive it somewhere.
Almost a walk per inning pitched.
Yes.
For Burton. So the patience will be key. Iowa's drawn a few walks today.
Yeah, he's got a couple of wild pitches, a hit batter. So, I mean, yes, he's given up 1 hit, which sounds great in 6 1/3. But there's an opportunity to create traffic here if you go up with your plate discipline.
Yeah, other elements of his statistics maybe support the batters and the hitters. Here's Braden Frazier to lead things off, followed by Moss, and then back to the top with Wilmus. Iowa 1-0. First pitch to Frazier. That's a grounder in the dirt. Not put in play by Frazier. I should clarify.
It wasn't a full grounder.
And then he'll miss high this time, 2-0.
So we have the bottom range and the upper range of the pitch selection.
2-0 hitters count for Frazier. How about he finds the middle? And Braden gives it a ride somewhere. Ooh, instead goes inside. Are we going to predict outside here? He's been all around the world in the first 3 pitches, none of them for strikes.
Only thing I'm predicting is a Frazier take.
Can guarantee that. Take that ticket to the cashier. The 3-0 is high, ball 4. 4-pitch walk to start the 6th. Got to make him pay at some point, John.
Right, and that's, Hawkeyes struggled with that yesterday of finishing off rallies. We talked about how good Indiana had been at getting the first guy on base. Iowa hasn't been terrible at it, as that's the 3rd leadoff hitter to reach base. We'll see if Hawkeyes play any games here. Burton is slow to the plate.
Frazier has a good lead. Burton will start Moss with a strike on the inside corner. I feel like Cade's had a pretty good series all around. I don't know if the average would necessarily indicate that, but had a big hit yesterday. Cade will square to bunt now. They'll check on Frazier. Frazier's sliding back to the bag before the throw even gets there.
Yeah, that was his first hit of the series, but it feels like he's had a little bit better better luck than that. He's got a walk. And
here's the pitch to Moss. Nice bunt down the third baseline, but foul. Not to be critical or nitpicky, but the bunting for Iowa this year has just not been as strong as it has in years past. I feel like a few missed opportunities in the bunt game.
It's generally been poor, is I guess the nicest way to say it. It's just they've really had a hard time executing the short game. Been a couple times where it's been great and you're like off the charts good, but then when you really want one, it seems like they've had a hard time.
0-2 to Moss is way high, 1-2. He's pulled the bunt back. Swing away now.
And this is where now, okay, you missed your job at 0-1, but you can still move him up. You can still get a hit. I mean, just keep zooming in, stay focused.
Top of the order with Wilmus on deck. So a couple of contact hitters in a row here for the Hawkeyes before we get to the power. Also foul this back. Iowa leading Indiana 1-0 in the 6th. Just 8 hits combined, only 3 for the Hawkeyes today.
You know, Burton last year, just 2 1/3 innings, 15.43 ERA. So, now hasn't been super sharp. Hawks will have a chance here.
The 1-2, foul tip into the glove. Moss is out number 1. That at bat went sour after the missed bunt opportunity.
Yeah, you know, being down 0-2, it was an uphill climb there. Couldn't quite catch up to the fastball there. It was up over the plate, just couldn't get up to it. Again, you can be, you know, effectively wild sometimes too, where all of a sudden that fastball sneaks into the zone and it hasn't been around it.
Wilmus will swing at the first pitch. He'll miss it.
And that's the thing, and it's where Iowa struggled yesterday. They've got to get that push down in the zone. They can't be swinging at balls up in that top third or above the top third of the tic-tac-toe grid.
Hey, don't help this guy out any, right?
Right. He's, you know, force him to bring that ball down and throw strikes, or force the umpire to call that upper zone a strike.
A 1 pitch to Wilmus is hit out of the park to the right side, fouling out of play. Frazier's still over there at first. Haven't been able to advance him any. Reading a couple of signs, though, from Coach Heller. With 1 out in the 6th, Wilmus is choked up on the bat. 0-2. That's high.
Well, and that's the problem with Burton, too, is he's slow to the plate, but he throws, you know, he's still throwing 90-mile-an-hour fastball, doesn't really have a good slider, so he's going to keep throwing that fastball, and with where he misses, it's kind of effectively a pitch out a lot of times.
That might have been one right there. Really concerned about Frazier taking off for a second. They're just lobbing it over to first now to keep him from leaning towards second. And this is where Iowa stole a bag earlier in the game when Seegers took off. Here's the 1-2, line drive into right, and caught. Colopy took a couple of steps forward and then back, and he caught up to it.
Wilmus doesn't have much to show for it today, but it's had some good at-bats. Just a little unfortunate in the first inning with the good play out in center field, and that one being right at the right fielder.
Made great contact today. Stats will say 0 for 3, but he has walked. Now we'll see DeRiggi, who's been on once. Back in the first, he was the run that scored. It's 1-0 in the 6th. First pitch to Brennan. That's at the knees for a strike.
Brennan's not going to ambush you very much by swinging at that first pitch, so probably not terribly surprising, even though it's a first pitch fastball strike.
Now the shift really on in the infield. Look at that. All the way over to the right. That pitch floats high, 1-1. The second baseman playing in shallow right. Shortstop is playing where a second baseman would play if he were ready for a double play. 1-1 to DeRiggi. Popped up left center. Taylor is under it. He'll call everybody off, and he's got it for the third out of the inning. Nothing doing for the Hawks in the 6th. Iowa 1, Indiana nothing. More Hawkeye baseball on the way after this. From Learfield.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Handling all of your exterior needs from roofing, siding, windows, and gutters. They've got you covered. Providing free damage inspections and help filing insurance claims. Call 319-343-6376.
John Evans and John Leo in the broadcast booth at Bart Kaufman Field. The series finale with Indiana. The Hawkeyes took game one on Friday 7-1. Indiana took Saturday's game 2-0. So we're trying to figure out who's going to win the series. Well, it depends on who wins this game. It feels like a big one for Iowa. Not necessarily to the gotta-have-it level, although you'd like to say that about every single game, but big momentum swing, in my opinion, if Iowa can win this game for the rest of the season.
Well, there's a confidence level there, after the way that yesterday's game went, after the way that, maybe the midweek game shook out, the last couple midweek games.
First pitch to Bobby Whalen is lined into left for a base hit. Wilmus will jump to grab it on a hop. It's a leadoff single for Whalen. Iowa leading 1-0, but the tying run is on. Got to imagine maybe close to the end here with tie.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect that, especially as we go through now 2, 3, 4. There'll be a long route here, but Hawkeyes have been in this spot a handful of times, and literally now a handful of times,
yes,
and been able to get out of them. So,
batter's Taylor. First pitch to him is off the plate outside. Taylor's a left-handed hitter. Indiana's got their leadoff guy in the inning on base for 5 of the 6 today. So far, Iowa's come away unscathed. 1-0 pitch to Taylor. That's a nice one from Ty. Change up low and out. Called strike, 1-1.
Crowd doesn't like it, but boy, it's a strike all day long.
The entire ball was in there for a strike, not catching a corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Langenberg ready. The pitch. Chopper to first. This will get foul. One ball, 2 strikes. Nobody out. In the Indiana 6th. Langenberg has been pitching to contact. Here's the 1-2. Ooh, that's just high. Ball 2.
Gave it up where you could see it. Just good job of holding off the swing there from Taylor. We talked about this yesterday. Whalen, just 2 stolen bases on the year. Hops around, but doesn't have a very big lead. Just likes to get a good secondary.
The 2-2 pitch skied in the air, fouling out of play. I don't want to jinx anything, but Indiana hasn't been too aggressive on the base paths in this series. But then again, haven't had a ton of base runners.
Right. That's, today they've almost doubled their hit total for the whole series.
2-2 from Langenberg, way outside, 3-2. Dangerous spot now, and it's the middle of the order coming up for Indiana. And the fans are really going to get behind their batter and their offense now. Bottom 6, Iowa 1-0. Langenberg crouches over, gets the sign from Moss. The 3-2. Nope, we'll check the runner at first.
4-6-3. We haven't had that one yet.
Not had a 4-6-3 double play. We've had 4-6-2. We've had 6-3. We've had 5-4-3. Here's the 3-2 from Langenberg. Half swing, tapped foul.
Ty probably caught a break there as that ball was on the outside-ish, maybe part of the plate.
Yes. It's probably ball 4.
Ty's just been
don't make a mistake here.
Been losing him outside here. He needs to come back in.
3-2, that's high and out, ball 4. Indiana's in business in the 6th. See if they leave Ty in the game for now.
Luke hasn't thrown a ton yet, so I'm not sure he's ready.
Maybe a mound visit, or maybe Cade Moss will go talk. And Cade is going to give a couple of signs to the Hawkeye infield. For now, they're going to leave Ty in the game.
I don't know if Tibbetts is the bunting type as your cleanup hitter with some pop, but Move your runners into scoring position would make a ton of sense in a one-run game.
All right, runners at first and second for Indiana with nobody out. Here's Tibbetts, first pitch from Langenberg. Ground ball to third. Mitchell's got it. He'll throw it to second for one. On to first. Not quite in time. Got runners at the corners. We're able to get one out there.
I mostly like what Gable did there, but he had the base runner right in front of him. We saw that earlier in the Iowa innings when he just kind of reached out and made the tag on the guy coming. And I mean, you run a risk there, you drop the ball. There's all kinds of things that can go wrong with that as well. But Matheson has had a great day today, and that'll be it for Ty.
Yeah, Ty will come out of the game, and we'll take a pitching change break. Runners at the corners for Indiana in the bottom of the sixth inning. There's one out. Iowa will be going to the bullpen. Good overall effort from Ty today. Hopefully the Hawkeyes can stay out of the jam in the sixth when we come back from this pitching change break. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs, but what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Back for the bottom of the sixth inning. Iowa leading Indiana 1-0. Runners at the corners for the Hoosiers with one out. We'll see a new Iowa pitcher. It'll be Luke Llewellyn, the righty, 6'4", 220-pound redshirt junior from Urbandale. Spent some time at Kirkwood. All right, Louie, here we go.
1-0 on the season. 13th appearance of the year, all in relief. 2.45 ERA, does have a save. 14 2/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 runs, just 4 of those were earned, 11 walks, and 19 strikeouts. Opponents hitting just 240 off Louie. And this will be a big spot as Matheson's had a big day at the plate.
Yep, 2 for 2 with a couple of singles. And Llewellyn has to get a couple of outs here any way possible to preserve the one-run lead that Iowa has on Indiana in the sixth.
Matheson's got, the multi-hit series, 4 hits in the series, but he's also a guy that strikes out a lot, so you have a chance to get him that way. Not sure that they'll try any crazy games with him just with the way that he's been seeing the baseball today, but
what do you see differently from Llewellyn than what Ty brings to the table?
Well, Ty, is a little bit more everybody's a little bit more down low on the clock as opposed to Louie, who throws it straight over the top. So just a different look, a different entry or exit spot.
First pitch to Matheson is a hard strike on the outside corner, 0-1.
You've seen it from the Hawkeye hitters where they've had a harder time with those 6'8" guys that are throwing up high. Louis 6'4" and throws it with full extension up above, so he's getting up to that almost 7-foot release point.
No balls and a strike. Pitch to Matheson, fouled out of the play to the left side. 0-2.
Wayland does a nice job down at third base, trying to distract the pitcher, kind of show and go. And
Cade's got to be outstanding behind the plate right here. The 0-2 from Llewellyn, fouled back to the net.
I had that one.
That was headed right towards us. We got pretty good protection up here.
Yeah, well, there's not a baseball that's getting into here.
Very nice facility. The campus of Indiana. Llewellyn looks in for the sign from Moss. He's got it. The 0-2. Feels it and deals it. Called third strike on the outside corner. Llewellyn got him.
Indiana fans hate it, but that was a good breaking ball right on the outer half, or outer stripe of the plate.
Outer 8th, outer 16th,
Yeah.
the very edge.
A lot of black paint and a little bit of white. Give him the strike call, and the Hawks are...
Scott Klein with a really emphatic punch out. That one, he could have punched through a wall on that one.
He believed it. He believed what he was doing. I appreciate the energy.
2 outs in the inning now. Runners still at the corners for Colopy. He's walked. He's also struck out. Llewellyn delivers the first pitch. Swing and a miss. Went after the high heater.
Obviously, we've seen what he can do. So you don't pick your spot, go aggressively get it, know where you want to miss to.
No balls and a strike. Fastball this time outside. Colopy struck out in the 4th, and he was late on about every single fastball that he saw in that at bat. So I wouldn't get too fancy with any off speed here, would you? He crushed the off speed yesterday.
Right, and he caught the miss yesterday. Just hitting 184 coming into today.
1-1 from Llewellyn. Popped up, out of play to the right side. It'll be 1-2.
He hasn't tended to be. I guess he's striking out once every 5 at bats or so. So guy you can go get here a little bit.
Llewellyn's got the sign from Moss. He comes set. The 1-2. That's high. Ball 2.
Oh, that high. Really, he's worked the upper part of the zone. Hasn't really given him anything down low. I think he's still just stayed at fastballs here and try to overpower him.
Here's the 2-2 from Llewellyn. Foul tip. Moss couldn't quite grab it. Went with the off speed. Colopy just kind of one-handed at it.
Actually had him completely fooled. Swung right over the top of it, but just caught enough to make it where Moss couldn't catch it.
Llewellyn has to deal again. A pause, the 2-2. Just off the plate outside. That had a little movement on it away from the batter. It was a fastball, though. The count will be full.
That'll put the runner at first in motion. Again, Hawks hope he doesn't matter, as all Louie's got to do is bear down here and finish this at bat.
Crowd getting behind the Indiana team. 3 balls, 2 strikes. The pitch from Llewellyn. Low and out, ball 4. Bases will be loaded for the Hoosiers in the bottom of the 6th. Colopy's got a little swag to him. He flipped his bat like he just accomplished a great feat right there and kind of stared around. And
hey, if you're hitting 183, you did accomplish a great feat. You got on base.
He hit the home run yesterday, and he spiked his helmet and got everybody fired up. We'll have a mound visit from pitching coach Sean McGrath, so let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Bases loaded for Indiana in the 6th. 2 outs. Walked a couple of Hoosiers in this inning. Made things interesting. Iowa leading 1-0.
I guarantee I'd have spiked my helmet yesterday, too, just to be fair about that.
I suppose.
Especially as a guy, when you look at how his season's gone, started the year as a starter and then got benched because he hasn't been successful. To come up in that spot, there's no way I'm not spiking my helmet.
Well, if we're going to refer to it,
I'd have been spinning it on my finger. And
yesterday had the playoff feel, the postseason feel to it, so I guess that would line up with that. Got to get Josh Pine out right now, though, with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Hoosiers with 6 hits today, Iowa with 3. The Hawkeyes do have the lead, though, but 1-0. Llewellyn ready for the first pitch to Pine. Here it comes. Breaking ball, called strike to start off the at-bat.
Pine was a freshman All-American last year. Kind of ran through most of the teams, but Big Ten all-freshman team as well.
Right-handed hitter with an even stance. The 0-1 pitch from Llewellyn. Fouled off. 0-2.
Now we've been here. Louie's got to finish it off. He's got to miss a bat, or certainly miss a barrel at least, and see if he can get back into the dugout and see if the Hawkeyes can try to extend a lead.
All right, here we go with the 0-2 from Llewellyn. Here it comes. High and out. Ball one. It's all right.
Not sure if he's trying to overthrow that a little, but even in the last at-bat, those pitches aren't going to get swung at. He's got to bring them down just a touch to make them where the batter wants to at least think about it.
1-2 pitch from Llewellyn. That's low. Good block by Cade Moss. Didn't let that get through, and it's 2-2.
Better fastball there. He tried to spike the outside corner. But now you've kind of taken away your advantage with one pitch that wasn't competitive, and then the second pitch that was tempting but not quite there.
The 2-2. High, ball three. Oh boy, now it gets interesting. Runners will be going on the pitch. Hawkeyes are clinging to a 1-0 lead over Indiana. Llewellyn's got the sign. Runners take off the 3-2. Fouled back to the screen.
Good piece of hitting there. That was a really... That's the pitch you wanted to see on 1 and 2. As he threw that kind of right on that outside dot. Pine went down and just poked it into the net.
We'll do it again at 3-2. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle. Honar's got it. He'll throw to first. Got him! Hawkeyes get out of the jam again, this time in the 6th when the Hoosiers had the bases loaded. We'll take the 1-0 lead to the 7th. Back right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The Hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel. The Jill Armstrong team with Skogman Realty, the area's premier realtor. And Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. The Hotel Kirkwood, named the Corridor Business Journal's 2022 Best Banquet and Event Venue. And awarded the AAA 4 Diamond Award for lodging. To make reservations, visit thehotelatKirkwood.com or call 877-751-5111 for more information.
Top of the 7th inning in Bloomington, Indiana. Iowa 1, Indiana 0. Hawkeyes with 3 hits today, 2 of them from Keaton Anthony, who will be leading off the 6th. He's the king of the double so far. He's hit 2 of them today, and he's really making his way up the Iowa record books as well. Keaton has hit 15 doubles this year. 1 more will put him in the, move him up in the top 20 for the Hawkeyes in a single season. 37 career doubles for Anthony. He's 4 away from getting even closer to the top 10. It would put him in a tie for 11th. So Anthony, extra base hits have been the name of his game. Could use one right here. Iowa trying to get some more runs, leading by 1. And Indiana's really been putting on the pressure the last couple of innings.
They've started to certainly expand their offense by eliminating the double play.
Yeah, they haven't hit into one in 2 innings. What gives?
But we talked about how yesterday no leadoff guys got on base really until I think once.
1-0 pitch to Anthony. Top spin, shoots it to left, right to Taylor, who battles the sun and then makes the catch. It's close out there.
That was an interesting way to make that catch, but he was able to come up with it. But then, offensively today, both teams are combined 0 for 16 with runners in scoring position.
Absolutely brutal.
You haven't been able to come up with the big hit. Indiana actually does have 2 two-out hits, but they've come with the bases clean. And the teams with runners on base today, 1 for 28.
My goodness. Gable Mitchell stand in. First pitch to him is a called strike in on the hands. That's why you're asking for a few more runs a little bit earlier in the game, because you don't need to go back very far to see what can happen if you don't, and that was yesterday. So, and obviously Indiana within striking distance, goes without saying, with a 1-run lead for Iowa. But 1 ball, 1 strike, pitch to Mitchell. He squares to bunt, sends it right back to the pitcher. He'll pick it up. The throw to first is late. He's safe. How did Gable Mitchell beat that out? He hit it right back to the pitcher.
Well, and Hawks have talked about that a little bit. Test the 6'8" guy that's a little lanky coming off the mound. It wasn't particularly a good bunt. It was right back to the pitcher. But Mitchell was flying. Well, yeah.
It's like a defensive bunt. He can get out of the way.
89-mile-an-hour fastball up and a little in, and he got it down on the ground, got his hit. Yeah, Gable's got a couple hits this year, but we'll see. Maybe none more important than that one.
He's at first base now with a lot of speed. Got to be smart over there, the freshman. Batter Sam Honar swinging at the first pitch again. Missed it. I think Sam has swung at the first pitch in each of his first 3-4 now at bats, and I think every pitch that he swung at has been a ball.
There are some guys that are wired to take, and there are some guys that are wired to swing. Hodge is wired to swing, that's for sure, and hopefully now he can show some discipline in here, because the Hawks are going to need it.
They just really haven't. Yeah, they just haven't given Sam much to hit today. 0-1. Here's one popped up to center. High fly ball. Whalen will have to come forward now, and he'll grab it for the first out of the inning.
Second out of the inning?
Second, you're right. Second out. Forgot that Keaton put that into left. So, all right, 2 down for Hucksdorf.
Ceruto's been so good throwing behind the plate that it's hard to kind of make a choice here whether whether Burton's a little slower to the plate, give Mitchell a chance.
Hucksdorf pops up the first pitch into foul territory down the first baseline. Get out of play. It will find the seats. I get what you're saying, and to this point, why not? Because it's not like we'd be breaking any type of momentum. In fact, it could give us some.
Well, and there's that part of Huck hasn't been Huck hasn't been great this series yet either, and so you give him a chance to drive in a run, and but yeah, you got to get to second.
Just feel like maybe something to spark the game just in general. Iowa leading 1-0 in the 7th. No balls and a strike to Hucksdorf with 2 outs. Mitchell's over there at first with a good lead. Pitch to Hucksdorf that's outside. Thought about throwing it down to first on the backside. You've mentioned Ceruto's wanted to do it a couple times. I think he might have had a play there.
He's had a lot of looks. He just hasn't let one go yet.
Ball and a strike. Pitch to Hucksdorf. That's low and out. Ball 2. Find a gap somewhere with 2 outs. The speed of Mitchell. Now we're talking.
Now 2-1. They're not gonna do anything crazy about pitching out. Short lead from Mitchell this time, though.
And now they just throw it over there. So now you even double down on the idea.
Yeah, because again, a little slower to the plate. You kind of go almost on his first movement, and you're able to get a good jump, get going, and then give Huck a chance in that gap.
He's got a great lead, not going. The 2-1 is outside, ball 3.
Again, I could probably make the same argument. I could make a pretty good argument for why you don't send him now, but
now you don't.
I could make a pretty good one for if you do, because if Huck gets a fastball, which has been kind of the only thing he's thrown for any type of strike, Huck's going to swing, so it's just a hit and run action.
You make a good case for that. 3-1. Called strike at the knees. 3-2. Hucksdorf's just been puzzled by the strike zone all weekend.
And I'm not sure why. I could get it if he gets punched out by balls that aren't there, but boy, right now that was knee high, almost in the middle of the plate.
Mitchell will be going now on the 3-2. Popped up, foul, out of play, right behind us. So now we're going to get the best of both worlds, right? Where we're definitely going to see Mitchell go. And if we get that gap now, it'd be all right.
Guarantee Gable's on the move now. Huck doesn't go to right field a ton, but he skates one into that right center field gap. Mitchell scoring.
He's got to make sure that he goes home. Time called.
I think he had to. I think he was pitch clocking it close there. And that could have been just an auto walk.
Got to make sure that he goes home over there, Gable. Yeah, he's gonna check on him a couple times to keep him close.
I hope wherever we go to next, they do not pick to first nearly as often as these guys do.
Minnesota, if you're listening, please. The 3-2 in on the hands. Hucksdorf pops it up right side. Second baseman Cerny's over. He's got it. Third out of the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the seventh. Still 1-0. Iowa scored their one in the first. Nothing for either team since then. Back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV? What? Oh, no way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
We've stretched things out at Bart Kaufman Field. Bottom of the seventh, Iowa 1, Indiana nothing. It'll be Llewellyn back for another inning of work. It'll be the bottom portion of the order, 8, 9, and 1. Cerny, Ceruto, Glasser for the Hoosiers in the box. See how much Luke has left in the tank. And who would be next to come in for the Hawkeyes as the game progresses. You see Jacob Henderson getting loose in the bullpen. Hawkeyes have left 11 runners on base today. Season high is 15 against Grandview.
You were talking about the feel of this game, and I was just kind of trying to look back. There were a couple games last year that fouled straight back. That there was an Illinois game last year, kind of the middle game of the series that Iowa had, middle game of the series. Iowa had it won, kind of let it get away, lost it in 13. I was trying to think about all the opportunities, but they only left 10 guys on base that day. Illinois actually left 15.
Here's the 0-1. This one's lifted down the line and left. It is a foul ball. Thank goodness. That would have been into the corner, and it would have been double trouble for sure. Nothing in 2 instead. I can just go back to the Illinois State game. You know, we led the whole game against Illinois State, and then they scored late, and we were out of time.
Yeah,
that has the same feel right now. No balls, 2 strikes. Llewellyn to Cerny. Breaking ball high.
Well, let's shake that feeling. I don't like that feeling. Let's get a different one.
Yep.
Let's get the one where we just close it out and call it good.
Pitching has been really good for Iowa this weekend. Llewellyn's 1-2 offering. Into the gap in right center. Hucksdorf's got to move. He is there. He got it in the gap. 1 down.
Yeah, that ball hung up a long time. You could see Huck tracking that one. But to your point right there, I mean, Huck pitchers have given up 3 runs this weekend.
Incredible.
3 runs this weekend. So at the very least, be optimistic that that there might be a kind of a re-breakthrough of the pitching again. Not that they've been poor at any level, but found a way to get through here.
Bottom of the order with Ceruto, who's 2 for 2 today with a single and a double. The way I look at it, you learned a lot about the team this weekend, even with this game still hanging in the balance.
Good and bad. I mean, that's kind of the idea, is how do you handle adversity?
1-0 spiked foul, 1-1.
How do you played a great game on Friday, got everything you wanted out of your ace, and you did everything you needed to do, and you come back and you kind of got gut punched then yesterday. So what do you do now, and how do you respond?
Breaking ball 1-1 is hit foul, 1-2.
And that's, you hate to be, we're playing a game, so you're very results oriented, but it really is about the process and how you respond to it. You can't control every result.
1-2. This one's shot into center. Huckstorf having to sprint forward again. He won't get this one. It's a base hit. Ceruto's having himself a day.
He's definitely improved his batting averages. He hits just a little twisted fister out there and loops it into the triangle between left field and short and center. And even with the shift, we couldn't get there. Back to the top now.
Well, it's going to be the good part of the order basically the rest of the way for Indiana. So that's getting late, and we're at the top right now.
Gable better be on his toes at third.
First pitch to Glasser's a called strike inside corner. Good start from Llewellyn. Runner at first with one out. Yeah, Mitchell is behind the bag. He's playing off the line a bit. Not anticipating Glasser to send it down the line at third. Here's the 0-1.
Uh-oh.
Hanging into the corner to right. It is a foul ball. That was trouble. But instead, a long strike, 0-2. Indiana's been hitting both foul territories right and left. They've been close. Hopefully they don't find the middle.
2 feet foul there. That wasn't very far the wrong direction of the right field line there.
I like Llewellyn's approach going inside. Good thing he did there, otherwise that would not have been foul, right?
Right, and that's a lot of times that's kind of the best thing that happens for a hitter is you pull hook that thing and you can't keep it fair if you execute your pitch.
No balls, 2 strikes. Llewellyn, the pause, the pitch. Grounder right back to Luke. Luke will step and throw to second. It's a bad throw, and he's safe at second. Llewellyn fielded it, and he was on the back side of the mound, and he hopped it to Seegers. He just kind of lobbed it to him, and Michael reached for it and came off the bag.
No argument from the Hawkeye dugout. Not that you're going to win it anyway, but yeah, I was really kind of hoping that he just went to first there. There was no real reason to make that play. Get the out, get 2 outs. Make sure you don't give them the opportunity for anything big. And now again, Mitchell better be on his toes. Whalen is a good bunter.
Llewellyn did not want to throw it away, and instead he threw it too short, too soft. Runners at first and second with 1 out. First pitch to Whalen, fouled back to the screen. Coach Heller was out of the dugout making his way to the pitcher's mound when that pitch came in.
He was trying to get time called. Cade had stood up once. The umpire didn't give him time.
Now we're going to go to the bullpen in the middle of the at-bat. After Llewellyn throws a strike, Coach Heller is out again, and he's headed to the mound. Looks like it'll be Jacob Henderson coming into the game. We'll get his updated stats after this. Not sure if we're taking a pitching change break yet.
Oh, yeah. Hendo's jogging in.
Henderson's coming in.
Luke's not leaving the mound, but Hendo
hasn't taken the ball yet, and now he does. So we'll take the pitching change break now in the bottom of the 7th. Runner on for, a couple of runners on for Indiana. In the bottom of the 7th, Iowa leading 1-0. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through life care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, Start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/Iowans win.
All right, the Hawkeyes call to the bullpen. Will bring in Jacob Henderson, the right-hander from Gilbert, Arizona.
Appearance number 13 for Jacob, 2-0 on the season, 2.53 ERA, 10 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs. They've all been earned, 5 walks, 17 strikeouts, including 6 on Friday night as he finished the last 2 innings of Brody Breck's masterpiece. Jacob gave up a couple hits on Friday, but struck out 6 to get all the outs on his own, and he's going to come into a high leverage spot here, and the Hawks still need 8 outs to come out of here with a win.
None of them are going to be easy. 1-0, Iowa with the lead in the bottom of the 7th. The count is 0-1. Llewellyn was taken out of the game after starting the at-bat with Bobby Whalen. So now Henderson will deal the 0-1 as his first pitch. Check swing. He absolutely went around 0-2. Quite a difference for Whalen on 2 pitches. You see Llewellyn and then Henderson's throwing to you.
From 12 o'clock and from 9 o'clock.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. This one's outside.
Good hold there from Whalen to not just wave at that pitch.
Runners at first and second for the Hoosiers and 1 out. Wind continuing to blow out to left. Henderson's ready with the 1-2. Popped up right side. This will get out of play and find the seats.
Souvenir for the Hawkeye fans over there.
Great traveling group of those wearing the black and gold sitting behind the dugout.
This team has a great group of parents.
Really do.
Fun to be around.
Here's the 1-2. Line drive into center. That's a base hit. They'll wave the runner from third. The throw will not come in. We're tied. RBI single Bobby Whalen. It's 1-1 in the 7th.
That was actually just a really good piece of hitting as Jacob threw that off the plate. That ball was probably 2 balls outside of the plate. Whalen just went and kind of served it up. You asked for Seegers to do that earlier in the game. Just kind of throw your hands at one. And that's exactly what Whalen did. And, of course, it had no real momentum to get out to the outfield very quick either. Now we've got the most dangerous power hitter in the Indiana lineup.
I don't know if he finished his swing on that, John. First pitch to Taylor, down and in, ball 1. 8th hit of the game for Indiana. Finally gets him on the board in the 7th. Tied at 1. Runners at first and second. Ceruto at second. Whalen at first. 1-0 pitch. That is inside, ball 2.
Funny thing is, that pitch was closer to the plate than the ball that Whalen hit.
Isn't that something? 2 balls, no strikes. Henderson looks in for the sign. He's got it. The pause and the pitch. Oh, chased that one and fouled it off.
Hawks probably catch a break there. Is that pitch? Not sure you're going to get that one as a called strike on 2-0. But Taylor was extra aggressive, which kind of tells you what his approach is here, so you can figure out how to go get him based on that swing.
Long pause on the mound, the 2-1. That is just high, ball 3. That was close. Taylor being the power hitter that he is, I'm surprised he didn't swing at that one. Had to look pretty good.
Had to look pretty good, but again, that's going to kind of come from the back door, so it was a little outside.
Here's the 3-1. Swing and a miss. Boy, he pulled his head to the softball diamond out there in right. He was trying to hit it over there.
Yeah, there's one of the light poles out there that has 408 on it, and he was definitely trying to see if he could ring that light pole.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Pitch from Jacob Henderson. Fisted to first base. DeRiggi will pick it up. Gotta hurry. Got him out at first. Runners at second and third now for Indiana with 2 outs.
Good battle back there from Jacob, as again, that was That was not a strike more than likely, but because you knew Taylor was aggressive, you got it into a spot where he was going to aggressively swing. And now you got a big spot here with the cleanup hitter.
Brock Tibbetts grounded out 3 times today. Runners at second and third. Bottom of the 7th, we're tied at 1. 2 outs. First pitch from Henderson. Outside corner, strike 1.
And you and I mentioned it in the break when Hendo came in. You know, all of these guys have seen him now. So there was only one hitter Friday night that didn't see him, and Kalapi wouldn't have been in the lineup. So actually he did. He came in and got the pinch hit. So
here's the 0-1, swing and a miss.
So they kind of know what they're getting. So the element of surprise and movement from Jacob is a little gone. So now he's going to have to execute his plan. He's got himself into a good spot here. Now he's got to finish it off.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch from Henderson, just high, ball 1.
Good pitch there, though. Again, with Jacob throwing so many things that spin and break away from right-handed hitters, they kind of start getting themselves short so that they can dive out over the plate. Getting that ball up and in to get him back off the plate, get him standing up straight.
The 1-2, swing and a miss. Got him. And the Hoosiers will strand 2, but they've tied the game at 1. We're headed to the 8th. Right after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
We've reached the top of the 8th inning in Bloomington, tied at 1. Pressure situation now. The Hawkeyes will face a new Indiana pitcher. It'll be Braden Reisdorf, 6'3", 220-pound freshman from Kendallville, Indiana. So getting the freshman in there in a high-pressure situation.
4.96 ERA in the season, hasn't factored in any decisions. 12th appearance, he has made 2 starts, has a save. 16 1/3 innings pitched, 17 hits, 10 runs, 9 are earned. 7 walks, 21 strikeouts. Hit 4 batters, 3 wild pitches. Opponents hitting .262 against him. Going to be in the low 90s with the fastball. You know, and he kind of throws it a little bit of that sidearm sling, but for the most part, it's going to be, you're going to try to pitch off that fastball and then make you chase the off-speed stuff. So if the Hawkeyes can stay disciplined again, this is a guy that they can draw walks of, and you know, as a freshman, you know, might be able to sneak into his head a little bit and get that run they need.
Boy, his warm-up pitches look pretty rough, John. I don't know if he threw too many strikes. I get it. It's not the same situation. He was spraying it all over the place, so hopefully that continues when a batter steps in. It'll be Seegers, Frazier, and Moss. Iowa scored 1 in the first. Not really done anything since then. Indiana just scored their 1 run a moment ago in the 7th. So we're in the 8th.
I was scored 1 on the actual weekend days so far, so need to get stuff going here.
Reisdorf is ready for the first pitch to Seegers. It is a called strike. At 93 miles an hour.
Michael's asking a question, but it looked across the top part of the zone pretty clearly.
0-1 is way outside. Just taking a look at the scorebook, when the last time Iowa had their leadoff guy on, it was in the 6th. Braden Frazier drew a walk.
And he just hung out over there.
Yep. 2-1 now to Michael. These teams have combined to strand 20 runners today. Iowa's left 11 on. Indiana has left 9.
That doesn't sound good.
Yeah, and both teams just unable to have the clutch hit. The 2-1 to Seegers is fouled to the right side. 2-2.
Good fastball there from Reisdorf, low and away through the 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Had it well located. Seegers went down and just poked it away.
Protect that outside corner. Michael's choked up on the bat a bit. Here's the 2-2. Outside, ball 3. Wow, a leadoff walk would be huge right here.
Especially out of Seegers. A little bit of speed there with the number of stolen bases. So let's see if we can get him out there.
3-2. Line drive over the shortstop and into left field. That's a base hit for Michael.
See, that's the same pitch that's basically the same thing that Whalen did in the bottom half of the 7th inning, where he just kind of fists one out there, doesn't really get it all, but gets it into a spot. Glasser was sizing that up, and I thought for sure he was going to just rip our hearts out with it. But
with our luck this weekend, no kidding.
He floated over his head.
Here's Braden Frazier. We'll see if he can lay down the sacrifice bunt. He's squared. They'll throw over to first in the meantime. Got to execute these small ball situations, especially late in the game.
He had the chance on the squeeze bunt. Wasn't able to get it down.
Should have 2 chances. First pitch is low in the dirt. Picked nicely by Ceruto. Braden will pull it back. 1 ball, no strikes.
Again, you got a guy that's having a really hard time locating that fastball, so it's not the easiest thing to bunt, but
one of these times we're going to get one down, though.
Counting on this one.
1 ball, no strikes. The pitch, Frazier pulls it back and then taps it foul. So he squared to bunt, pulled it back, swung it. Third baseman was way in. He's going to have his head on a swivel. That's Pine.
Well, and that was one of those, too, where that could have worked out perfectly with just the chopper over Pine's head because he was in so shallow.
Braden squares to bunt. Throw over to first.
Reisdorf is fairly quick to the plate, so it's not really not like with Burton where it's just an easy stolen base opportunity. It's still going to have to be good here.
The pitch, Frazier pulls it back. Good eye. 2-1. Seegers will extend his lead at first. 2 balls, 1 strike. Frazier's already squaring to bunt. The pitch from Reisdorf. Braden puts it down the right side. The pitcher will pick it up. He'll throw to first to get Braden, but a perfectly executed sacrifice bunt. There we go. Gets Seegers to second.
Outstanding job there from Frazier, doing his job, moving the runner over, giving himself up. And that fastball down in the zone. He's going to give Moss and then the top of the order a chance with Seegers at second base.
Should be rewarded when you execute the little things in baseball, right?
I like the way you're thinking.
Maybe from a biased position. First pitch to Moss. Grounder to the left side. The shortstop will glove it. Glasser throws it on the run. It is picked at first. They got Moss. Seegers got to third. For a moment, Glasser looked like he was going to throw it to third to try to get Seegers out there. Instead, decided to throw it on the run away from where he fielded it. And on a hop, got Moss at first.
He wasn't going to get Seegers at third, and I think that might have ended up making his decision. Was once he looked up and realized he was kind of DOA there, made the throw across and had to do everything right, and did, and was able to get Moss by half a step.
And now this is a very important at bat for a number of reasons. Because if Wilmus gets on, that means that DeRiggi comes up in the inning. Anthony would follow. So Wilmus has a chance to give Iowa the lead with a base hit, or just to extend the inning. We'd take that. Tie game 1-1 in the 8th.
The Hawkeyes are an amazing 1 for 20 with runners on base. Indiana just 1 for 15, but they made the 1 count.
First pitch to Wilmus, in there for a strike. All right, Ben, you're the man. Here we go.
Tough luck for Ben as he actually threw a breaking ball for a strike.
Go ahead run, just a few feet away at third. 0-1 pitch to Wilmus. Same spot, same result, 0-2.
Ben's shaking his head. He's a little hard luck. He hasn't located a breaking ball anywhere in the zone. All of a sudden now he's thrown 2. See if Wilmer can step up here. And he's made good contact a couple times today.
The 0-2. Tapped foul to the left side. Good hang, good battle.
Off speed, off speed, off speed.
Watch out. Be ready for it. I think the fastball might be coming.
I'd like to see him sail one to the backstop.
That'd be all right. Kick away. We'll do it again at 0-2. Reisdorf is ready. The pitch to Wilmus. That's high. Ball 1. There was 94 miles an hour, so 10 miles an hour difference.
Gave him that good fastball up high. Good job by Wilmus to recognize that right away so that he didn't end up chasing through it because it didn't break.
A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch to Wilmus. Line drive foul past Coach Bowe down the first base side.
Ben was almost like he's kind of working off the breaking stuff there now that he's gotten the 2 strikes on him because he just kind of fought off that fastball. 93 miles an hour. Almost center.
2 outs in the inning. Tie game at 1 in the 8th. Next pitch to Wilmus. Ground ball to the right side. Cerny's got it. He bobbled it, and he's going to have an error. The run's going to score. It ate up Cerny at second. He couldn't locate it. Wilmus stands on first, 2-1.
Wow, and that's even on turf. It's funny how you see that happen with you wait for it, and the ball kind of takes a funny spinning hop. He never really attacked that ball. He just stayed back on his heels. Ball just got right into him. I mean, it was 100 miles an hour off the bat from Ben. He hit it good, just right at the guy. Caught a break. Hawks finally get one.
2-1. Here's DeRiggi with 2 outs. They'll check on Wilmus at first. I agree. Well hit by Wilmus, but that was routine.
It was routine.
That was a routine play.
Didn't have to move. But again, he kind of got his feet stuck in the mud and was just sitting there.
First pitch to DeRiggi's on the outside corner for a strike.
There was no. He just kind of sat there and waited for it to come to him, and then by the time it got to him, it just got him almost between hops and ate him up.
And it's good that Wilmus was hustling down the line too. Didn't give up on it.
Again, that's because especially then once it's bobbled, you create a little panic, and that ball bounced up over his head, ended up kind of on his back, and not able to get him out. Run scores.
Counts 0-1 to DeRiggi. The pitch. That's low and out. Ball 1. No reason to be done now, right? Got the lead back. See if he can keep the inning going with 2 outs. Something that I was good at.
I'd pay good money to give those kids out in right center field a souvenir.
Yeah, the wind has totally died now. So DeRiggi could pull one. If he can see a strike, though, it's 2-1. Reisdorf missing high and out.
Henderson bopping around in the dugout. You had Kate Obermueller in the bullpen. Hawks need 6 outs.
Be a lot of decisions to be made in that front. Here's the 2-1 to Brennan. Ground ball to the right side. Cerny's got this one. He'll throw it to first for the 3rd out. The Hawkeyes get 1, take the lead to the bottom of the 8th, 2-1. Courtesy of the Ben Wilmus ground ball that forced the error on the infield for Indiana. That brought home Michael Seegers. Iowa 2, Indiana 1. To the bottom of the 8th we go. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
You probably know that a natural gas leak smells like rotten eggs. But what does a gas leak look or sound like? If you hear a whooshing or hissing sound, see dirt, dust, or water spraying from an area, or you get dizzy or queasy, leave the area immediately, then call 1-800-595-5325 once you're safely away. See MidAmericanEnergy.com for more safety tips.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Woo! Got my nachos, got my big TV, and my favorite chair. It's game time. But the only thing that would make it a little better is if I could listen to my local broadcasters while watching the game.
Oh, hello. You must have wished for your game to be synced with TV and radio.
I sure did.
Do you have a DVR?
You bet.
Do you have a streaming device?
Yeah.
Blammo! Your game is now synced. It's that easy.
Oh, boy.
To see if you can get synced, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield.
Syncmygame.com?
Syncmygame.com.
All right, the Hawkeyes have the lead as we get to the bottom of the 8th. It's 2-1. We'll see Jacob Henderson back out there again against Matheson, Colopy, and Pine.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Caught a break.
Finally.
In a good spot here now. Jacob mow through these guys.
Get on the bus.
See what the 9th inning brings.
Matheson has had a good day today. He's 2 for 3 with a couple of singles. He did strike out his last time in the 6th.
Let's do that one again.
Double up on the strikeout, huh?
Yeah, bigger fan there.
Henderson ready with the pitch. It's on its way.
Ooh.
That's way outside. It's kind of like that pitch from Yoho earlier today that went behind the Iowa batter. 2 balls, no strikes to Matheson.
Good news is he was left-handed, so
yes.
he didn't even have to duck, worry about it, anything.
Pitch from Henderson, swing and a miss, 2-1.
Good pitch there from Jacob, went right back at him. Trackman's confused because of the last pitch.
No data. Here comes the 2-1. That is just inside. Ball 3. A lot of activity in the Iowa bullpen. We see Obermueller, see Simpson. Somebody just took a seat. Might have been Christofferson. 3 balls and a strike. Pitch from Henderson. Fouled back, 3-2. And this is an opportunity for Jacob here to battle back after he's missed a couple in a non-competitive fashion to steal an out here.
Yeah, and missed in a non-Jacob fashion. So see him jump back on the rubber here and finish off this at bat and finally set down an Indiana guy at the top of an inning.
Yes. Count is still 3-2 after another foul ball. Have we got the leadoff guy out yet? I think we did. Yeah, we did in the 5th.
Twice, yeah. They're 5 for 7 in the leadoff spot.
In the 5th and in the 7th, they are able to get them out. Here's the 3-2. Ground ball to the right side. Honar knocks it down, but it'll get into right. DeRiggi dove for it. Honar dove for it. Went off of Sam's glove. That'll be a base hit.
I thought Honar had it. I thought we were going to get a rare 4-1 put out.
Hope Honar's wrist is okay. It looked like his glove kind of got caught under him a bit. Time called. Cade Moss will come out for a moment to give some signs to his infield. Iowa's turned 4 double plays today.
Good time to tie the school record. Colopy flipped one into left field off of Henderson on Friday night.
First pitch to him. That's above the letters for a ball.
Obviously flipped one into left field yesterday afternoon as well.
Yes. It was a 2-run home run off the foul pole to give Indiana the win in 10 innings yesterday. Colopy's the culprit. 1-0 pitch, half swing, got a piece of it. It hit a foul, 1-1.
Yeah, Hawkeye pitchers have been able to fool him. He's just done a nice job kind of sticking with it and strong enough then and get the barrel on it.
Slaps this foul, 1-2. Henderson's thrown a lot of pitches that have resulted in foul balls. Not able to square him up.
Well, that's what you see a lot with Jacob. You know, the strikeouts on Friday night were not entirely unusual, but he really is pitch around solid contact sort of guy.
A ball and 2 strikes to Colopy. The pitch. Line drive into right. Frazier is there. He'll make the catch. 1 down.
Good pitch there. Outer part of the plate, right on the black on the outside. And poked it out to right to where Frazier was standing.
It'll be the 7-hitter now. Their third baseman, Josh Pine. Pine today is 0 for 3, a couple of ground outs. He did pop up back in the 2nd. Take any of those right now. Iowa leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 8th. Trying to win the series against Indiana. First pitch from Henderson, low and outside. just off the corner, ball one.
Good pitch there from Hendo. Just couldn't quite get the chase out of him.
Pine, the right-handed hitter, the 1-0. Outside, ball two. Henderson's right around, but not quite strikes. Cerny's on deck. Ceruto could follow.
Oh, I'm not sure Iowa's been able to get out today.
That's right. 2-0 pitch is outside, ball three. Nervous times now for the Hawkeyes. Leading 2-1, but at the risk of putting a couple of runners on. 3-0 from Henderson. Inside, ball four. 4-pitch walk.
You know, and the thing you're doing here is you're asking Jacob to do something you haven't asked him to do all year. He threw 2 innings on Friday night, and then you're asking him to come back on Sunday and now kind of get out of an inning and come back out for an inning. So got a chance here, but needs to buckle in.
Be the 8-hitter in Cerny. Cerny's had a tough day. Grounded into a double play and flied out a couple of times. First pitch.
Ooh.
Outside, didn't get the call, and it's 5 in a row. Out of the zone from Henderson.
Oh, that one was a tough one.
Cerny had the error that gave Iowa the lead in the 8th. Taps this right back to Henderson. He'll throw it to second for one. Back to first, not in time. They get the middle runner at second. Good throw from Henderson.
Good throw from Henderson. Good job from DeRiggi to pop off the bag quick. He knew he wasn't going to get him. Make sure. We've obviously seen Indiana aggressively trying to round that bag. And so DeRiggi popped out quickly to make sure that if we were moving from third base, that we were going to throw a strike to the plate and finish up the inning.
Now we'll get a look at Ceruto, who is 3 for 3 today. He's the Hoosier that scored in the 7th. He comes up with 2 outs, runners at first and third for Indiana. Bottom 8, Iowa's leading 2-1. No better time than now to get him out for the first time today. First pitch to Ceruto, that's high, ball one. The infield for the Hawkeyes is shifted. Got 3 of the left side of the bag at second. DeRiggi on an island at first. Really trusting that Ceruto's not going to push it to the right side. Henderson's 1-0 delivery, swing and a miss. That was slow on the way in.
He did single to right back in the 3rd inning. And doubled down right down the left field line and then singled back up the middle.
1-1, line drive, base hit. We're tied again. Clubbed it into left. Ceruto is 4 for 4 today. And he's tied it at 2. Ceruto came into the game with a .218 batting average.
He's improved that.
RBI single.
I have to say, Coach Heller's probably going to make the shift here with the left-hander.
And so Matheson scores. Here comes Coach Heller out of the dugout.
Big spot here for Cade Obermueller.
We'll bring in the rookie out of the bullpen after this break. We're tied at 2 in the 8th. You're listening to Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
We all love a good win. Catching up with friends, saving money at the pump, soaking up the perfect Iowa day, sitting down to a really, really good meal. These are the everyday delights that make us smile. These are the moments that connect us all as Iowans. And these are the wins that, more often than not, start with Iowa's farm families and the crop they're growing. Because when corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Learn more about how to share your own wins at iowacorn.org/IowansWin.
When you're in the eastern Iowa area, be sure to visit and connect with the official local business partners of the Iowa Hawkeyes. The hotel at Kirkwood Center, Iowa's premier luxury hotel, the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, the area's premier realtor, and Options Exteriors, your preferred local roofing and exterior company. Jill Armstrong and her team strive to make every buyer and seller at ease with the real estate process. Contact the Jill Armstrong team, Wisconsin Realty, for all of your real estate needs. Call 319-631-5455.
Bottom of the 8th inning, Iowa and Indiana are tied once again, this time at 2. The Hoosiers have pushed across a run in the inning, and so Iowa goes to the bullpen. We'll bring in left-handed pitcher Cade Obermuller, the freshman from Iowa City.
Cade is 1-0 on the season, does have a save. This will be appearance number 9. He's made 2 starts. 2.70 ERA, 13 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 9 runs, though. 4 of those were earned, 8 walks. Struck out 23, opponents hitting just 133 against him. You know, again, the 8 walks and 6 hit batters. That's kind of we're not in a spot with a lot of room for error here. So I was talking to Cade. He had the bucket down the right field line this morning. And I love his attitude, man. He's a freshman, but he's very confident in what he's doing. I love his mental approach of one pitch at a time. And there's probably nothing more that's going to test his one pitch at a time theory than right now.
Well, runners at first and second with 2 outs. The batter is Glasser. First pitch off the plate outside. Ball 1. 10 hits in the game for Indiana, 5 for Iowa. Obermuller for now just has to get 1 out before anybody scores. Cade comes set with the 1-0. Here it comes. Hit him. Bases will be loaded for the Hoosiers.
And he got the umpire, too. Umpire took another one off the arm.
Man. Double deflection.
Yeah, his umpire's flexing out his hand.
Now it gets exceedingly tense. Batter is Bobby Whalen, who singled his last 2 times up. He's been on 3 times today. Tied at 2 in the 8th with 2 outs. Obermuller versus Whalen. The pitch, high and out, ball 1.
Good snag there by Cade Moss as that ball was zinging up and away from the plate.
We'll have time called. Here comes pitching coach Sean McGrath. He's going to go have a chat with Cade. And during the mound visit, we'll take a station ID break. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID. This is Iowa Hawkeye Baseball. Well, it's a good part of the order coming up for Iowa. And when we get to the 9th, hopefully we get there with a tie game. It'll be Anthony, Mitchell, and Honar. But for now, the bases are loaded for Bobby Whalen in the Indiana 8th in a tie ball game.
Got Whitlock and Simpson, I think, out in the Hawkeye bullpen. If we see any of them this inning, we've got a problem.
Bad news, yeah.
So hopefully hopefully they stay parked down there, and Cade buckles up here and gets Whalen.
Obermuller takes his time, the 1-0. Called strike on the inside corner. That was a beauty from Cade.
Really good fastball there. Busted it right back inside.
93 in on the hands like that. Here comes the 1-1. Outside corner. Got the call that time. 1-2.
Caught a break there. Buckled Whalen's knees as he didn't like the call. Remember last time he fisted it out into center field and drove in the tying run that time. So let's finish off the at-bat.
A ball and 2 strikes. The pitch hit sharply to the right side and foul. Bases loaded for Indiana in the 8th, tied at 2.
95-mile-an-hour fastball for Cade. That's kind of where his range is. That's probably the top end. You maybe get a little adrenaline. You can see 96, but he's 92, 93, 94.
A ball and 2 strikes with 2 outs. Obermuller feels it, deals it high. Ball 2.
Hawkeye world has been all ablaze with the can't see me gesture. Cade needs to throw the can't see me pitch right now.
Find a way to finish the deal here. Count is 2-2. Obermuller comes set. The pitch. Ground ball to the left side, through into left. 1 run is in. Here comes the second. The throw is on the way. It's late. Indiana leads 4-2. 2 RBI single for Bobby Whalen gives the Hoosiers the lead in the 8th.
Just not able to finish off the at-bat. Had 2 strikes. And just couldn't quite write it down in the book.
Had him in a 2-2 count.
Had 1-2, sailed it up high. It's a pretty good pitch. Got it in on him again, but that time he was able to turn the barrel around.
Whalen was, you got to imagine he was ready for it, because he turned on that one quickly. And it was 93 in on the hands, right?
You know, that's smart hitting, recognizing where the scouting report's working you, because Iowa did that the at-bat before. And so he was able to do a number with it.
Indiana 4-2 in the 8th. Here's Taylor now. First pitch in the dirt. Runner will advance from second to third. Moss knocked it down, but it got away from him a bit.
This game's not over, but you got to get the out. You know, two runs are gettable, but you know, all of a sudden you give up another one, or somehow you let Whalen score from first. All of a sudden if it turns into 6-2, well, now you go back into the dugout and you're not nearly as ready to go. 4-2 is still gettable.
1 ball, no strikes to Taylor. The pitch, swing and a miss. Wow, Obermuller really ran that in on the inside. Had Taylor fooled. 1-1.
And we saw it in Taylor's last at bat. He wants to swing the bat.
Runners at the corners for IU with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Off the plate outside, 2-1.
I say that, and that's a pretty darn good pitch there.
Really
for Cade.
good, really good.
Just misses off the outside part of the plate.
Here comes the 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
But what Taylor seems to like to swing at is fastballs inside.
Yes, and that one was up and in. He was trying to angle it out of the ballpark, and he missed everything. 2-2. Obermuller is ready. Here's the offering. Swing and a miss. Got him with the high heater. Obermuller with the strikeout. But Indiana does a lot of damage. They score 3, and they lead it 4-2 as we head to the 9th. Last chance for the Hawkeyes, Anthony, Mitchell, and Honar. Back after this is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join US Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
Knowing that I can make a difference in my patients' lives keeps me motivated every single day. Hi, I'm Dr. Kanya Ferguson at University of Iowa Healthcare. With academic medicine, we see the toughest cases, so we're always innovating. And we bring the best minds together to collaborate, so there's more brain power focused on you. Because that leads to exceptional care for our patients and our community. See how at uihc.org.
Well, the Hawkeyes with their backs up against the wall now, trailing Indiana 4-2 in the top of the 9th. Reisdorf will still be the pitcher for the Hoosiers. Anthony, Mitchell, and Honar due up for the Hawkeyes. Indiana scored 3 in the 8th. Late runs hurting the Hawks right now, but not out of it. Got a chance with some good hitters coming to the plate.
We've seen that a little bit this year. You know, we talk a lot about Heller ball, the race to 6, and kind of slamming the door if you're ahead after 6. And I always let a couple get away this year and see if they can steal one back.
Anthony's close to the plate. First pitch inside corner for a strike. Nothing in one. Just got to chip away. Got to find a way on.
Right.
Make some magic happen.
Keaton can't tie the game by himself, so just do your part.
0-1 is lined into the right center gap. That'll get down for a base hit to start the 9th for the Hawkeyes. Tying run will come to the plate and Gable Mitchell.
That's part 1.
Gable can get creative here too, don't you think? I mean, he's got the speed and the engine.
Obviously, he had the bunt hit earlier. Keaton doesn't have blazing speed there at first, though, so you got to be a little careful. Make sure that if you're going to bunt, it's good, but bunting doesn't really help you here.
Anthony at first. First pitch to Mitchell outside. Ball 1.
Gable also had the walk against Yoho earlier in the game, so wouldn't mind seeing him be selective, pick a spot he likes. And
Anthony with virtually no lead at first. 1-0 pitch to Mitchell is a called strike just below the letters. 1-1.
Doesn't stop people from trying to pick him off,
no
it seems like.
Indiana leading Iowa 4-2 in the top of the 9th in the series finale. Series is tied at 1. Reisdorf's 1-1. That's high. Ball 2. Again, for Mitchell, just find a way on. Any way possible. A bloop. Hit by pitch. A walk. Something.
What's the mentality we talk about with the pitchers? Just win your job. Win your opportunity.
2-1 to Mitchell. Inside, he turned away from it. Ball 3.
Do your part here. Your part is to get on base. Your job, if you're Gable Mitchell, your job is not to hit a 2-run home run. Your job is to just get on base, create more traffic, move Anthony along.
Thinking red light here, maybe for the 3-1 on its way home. Ground ball to second. Fielded, flipped to second for 1 onto first. Double trouble. Double play. And the Hawks are down to their final out.
Wait, some of the reactions I've seen feels like Indiana's about to win the College World Series.
They are fired up. Indiana 4-2 in the top of the 9th with 2 outs. Bases empty now for Sam Honar. First pitch to Sam is high and out, ball 1. Kyle Huckstorf is on deck. Hopefully can get to him. Out of the windup, the 1-0 pitch. That's in the dirt, gets to the backstop, 2-0. Two balls, no strikes. Pitch to Sam. Called strike at the knees, 2-1.
All right, Honar's done his job, though. He took some pitches, got it to a spot he likes. Now capitalize.
Here comes the 2-1. Fouled back, 2-2. That'll bring the Indiana fans to their feet. Sense some victory on the horizon for them. Iowa's going to make it difficult. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs in the 9th.
Full shift on for the Indiana defense again.
Swing and a miss. Honar chased it high and outside. And that'll do it. Indiana wins the rubber match 4-2. Hawkeyes drop to 22-8 on the season, 2-4 in Big Ten play. The Hoosiers get to 22-10. Hard-fought game. Indiana wins it 4-2. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At Mid-American Energy, we want to help keep you safe around power lines and electrical equipment. Always assume a power line is energized, even if it's on the ground. To avoid the risk of an accidental shock or electrocution, avoid touching a power line with anything. And when you see high voltage warnings on transformers and substations, stay away. We care about you and your safety. Get more tips at midamericanenergy.com.
Paid for by the customers of Mid-American Energy.
Hey everyone, I'm Mark Wahlberg, and I have some exciting news to share. At Wahlburgers, we are all about bringing the family together to enjoy a great meal and have a great time. That's why right now, for a limited time, kids eat free every day at all Hy-Vee Wahlburger locations. Kids 12 and under can enjoy one free kids meal with any purchase of an adult burger, sandwich, or entree salad.
Bring the family to Wahlburgers and the Wahlburgers and Hy-Vee stores, where right now kids can eat free.
That one stings. Indiana takes game 3 of the series 4-2. They win the series 2-1 after Iowa was outstanding on Friday with a 7-1 victory. Dropped a heartbreaker yesterday, 2-0. And then another heartbreaker today, 4-2. Indiana scored 3 in the 8th to take the lead for good. John Evans.
You give up 7 runs in the series, you can't lose the series, is the short answer. I suppose the same could be said last weekend when you score the number of runs that Iowa scored and you lost the series. But just what's going to go back is the lack of timely hitting. As you take a quick glance at the stats, Iowa 1 for 23 with runners on base, 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. So bit them a little bit yesterday, not being able to get the timely hit, and certainly wore that today.
Iowa got on the board first in the first with 1 run, did not score again until the 8th. In between that, Indiana got 1 in the 7th to tie it up. Iowa took the lead in the 8th, 2-1, and then gave up the 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th that ended up sealing the Hawkeyes' fate. And just a weekend that started so strong for the Hawkeyes this time around, and to do it at Indiana just had a better feeling. And it sort of faded away. Well, you went from playing probably the most complete game you'd played all year on Friday to feeling like you left some stuff out there on Saturday and Sunday, and that's never going to be a tasty feeling, and that's just kind of the way it works. The schedule a little bit challenging with 2 of the best teams in the Big Ten to start with. Unfortunately, they lost. Hawks lost both series, and long season, 6 series left, a lot of time to bounce back. Something else to note too, injury bug, John. We gotta find a way around that. There is no way to find a way around it, to be honest. Just gonna have to battle next man in. Well, and that'll be the biggest thing. Is Rader just stiff and sore? Maybe the hand swelled up a little bit now, and he'll be okay. Is it something more serious? You can kind of see him in the dugout with a wrap on the hand, but. You take Petey out of the lineup, you take Rader out of the lineup, you start, the offensive struggles become a little bit easier to understand when you start talking about, hey, we're going to take 3 of your regular position players out of the lineup and see how you do. Before we let you go, John, just a final takeaway from the series as a whole. You can go however you want. You can choose to be negative about it. Obviously, Iowa went 1-2, but there's a ton of positives that still came out of this. The pitching staff is good, and the pitching staff might be enough then to kind of keep you in and fight through those injuries that we're talking about. Minnesota's not been a great team so far. They're going to have a good Friday night guy, and Iowa's going to have to be ready to go on Friday night. But it's a series that you can get healthy again. You can do the right thing, bounce back with a good win on Wednesday at home, travel up to Minneapolis and get it done there, and all will be right in black and gold world again. All right, Indiana wins this one 4-2. Thanks for a great weekend, John. We'll see you on Wednesday against Milwaukee. Coming up after this break, we'll be joined by Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland as post-game coverage continues right after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At US Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join U.S. Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
At Oak Knoll, our mission is to provide exceptional retirement living and health services through Life Care. I'm Steve Rowe, Executive Director. We are a not-for-profit life plan community and have served Iowa City for more than 55 years. Our team helps residents create home by living our values of caring, respect, enthusiasm, awareness, teamwork, and encouragement. If you're looking at retirement options, visit our website at oakknoll.com. We want you to lead life your way. Go Hawks!
Indiana takes the final game of the series 4-2 over Iowa. Joined now by Associate Head Coach Marty Sutherland. Coach, another heartbreaker today.
Yeah, really disappointing. Credit to Indiana of continuing to fight and having some guys clutch up. They're late in the game, and that was the difference, right? Each team had opportunities, lots of them, and they were lucky enough to find the hole and drop one in front of the outfielders, and that's the disappointing thing because a lot of traffic all day long, and we just couldn't seem to get a break. First inning, you look at that, and it could have been 5-0. They rob a home run for Huck. Another kid makes an unbelievable play up on the wall for Wilmus, and you're just like, man. Oh, that's pretty rough. And then the next inning, you have guys on again, and we just couldn't get the big hit. And enough traffic, enough things going on that you felt like it could have been a 5, 6, 7 nothing game, and it wasn't. And you play enough baseball to know that stuff usually will come back to bite you if you don't cash in those opportunities. And think back to yesterday, really similar. We just couldn't clutch up when we needed to.
Felt like the guys stuck with the process, stuck with the plan. We even got to Yoho probably earlier than we thought, Coach.
But again, he was able to wiggle a lot of stuff. I mean, that was the frustrating thing. We had traffic on him the whole time, and we just couldn't get the hit. I mean, as a story for the last 18 innings, we had some opportunities. Obviously, yesterday was uphill for most of it, but still had opportunities. I don't know what we were with runners in scoring position. And Indiana probably felt similar. I mean, we turned 4 double plays in the first 4 innings. They probably felt like, they lost, they had some struggles with opportunities as well. You're looking at 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position. I mean, that was a story the last 2 days. A couple of times we had runners on third, less than 2 outs, and we punched out or just didn't score that guy. And that stuff, when you're talking about the types of games you're going to be in your league, your inability to execute in those opportunities is going to hurt you. And it did. And we allowed them to stay around, and we could have been, like I said, 4-5-0. Again, they probably felt similar because Ty was able to wiggle out of some stuff with the double plays. And then again, they just, their 4-hole hit or the 9-hole hitter has 4 hits, just clutched up for him. I mean, it's a tough kid, and you tip your hat to him. He got it done, and we certainly had opportunities to do the same, and we didn't get it done.
Some positives to take away from the series, Coach?
Not many, right, as I sit right now. I mean, it's a tough season, man, and these games are tough, but this is the season, right? It's these games that you've had the last 2 days that are 50-50 games, and your ability to execute in those type of games is your season, and your inability to figure out ways to get it done the last 2 days are hard to stomach. And it's not an effort thing, it's not a focus thing, it's just a get it done thing, and that's the hard part sometimes, that the results don't go in your favor. You think, again, back to that early part of the game, they rob Huck's home run, they rob Ben's, and that's the stuff that you need to catch a break. I thought we caught the break when they make the error there in the 8th, and then we go out and we can't hold it down, and that's disappointing. Hendu's on a second day of the weekend, and they just found some holes, a walk in there that wasn't great. We didn't make a play or two, late in that game on the pitching mound. We just need to get an out. We make a mistake there. So some things like that hurt you. And I was just, I keep a number of pitches per inning. And we were really efficient in the first 6 innings. And then the last, or actually maybe the first 5, and then 6, 7, 8, we threw like 80 pitches, and that was because they were constantly on us, and we were trying to wiggle out, and we just couldn't do it. And again, they clutched up with 2 outs, with the 9-hole and then the 2-hole, and that's the way it goes sometimes. We just didn't, and that's the hard thing to take, and it's a hard pill to swallow. But that's the nature of it, man. You don't get the big hit, the clutch hit, the 2-out hit, which we were doing a lot early. It's hard to win, and it showed today because that's what they did.
All right, Coach. Well, thanks for your time. Let's regroup and take down Milwaukee on Wednesday.
Thanks, John.
Associate head coach Marty Sutherland on our post-game show from Bloomington. We'll take our final break. We'll come back with highlights, and we'll close things down from Indiana. The Hoosiers take it 4-2. We're back after this. This is Hawkeye Baseball from Learfield.
At U.S. Cellular, we think phones are great, but they're not always great for us. Because while they connect us to so much, they can also distract us from, well, us. The us that actually laughs out loud with each other instead of just texting it. That knows being in the same room doesn't always mean being together. So let's find us again by putting our phones down. Not forever, just for 5. 5 days, 5 hours, even 5 minutes. Join U.S. Cellular in the Phones Down for 5 challenge. Find out more at uscellular.com/findus.
After a cancer diagnosis, it's natural to want to start treatment right away. But first, get a second opinion from a team that specializes in your cancer. I'm Dr. George Weiner, Director of University of Iowa Holden Comprehensive Cancer Center. Before you start treatment, you deserve to be confident you have the right diagnosis and know every option available to you. So whether it's with us or somewhere else, get a second opinion. It can change your care and your life.
Indiana takes the game and the series over Iowa, winning today's game 4-2. Still a number of highlights to get to. The Hawkeyes played some great defense out in the field. Those are a majority of our highlights today. Let's recap some of them. 0-1 pitch to Honar. This one is hit softly to third. Charged hard by Pine. He'll have one play over to first. He'll throw it on the run for the out, but DeRiggi scores. 1-0 Hawkeyes. Here's the 1-1 hit to Tello at third. He gloves it, throws it to second for one. On to first, double play. Got him. What a play, Raider Tello to get it started. No balls in a strike with 1 out. Runners at first and second for Indiana in the second. The pitch, ground ball to second. Honar's got it. Flip to second for 1. On to first, no throw. They're going to throw it home. It's an accurate throw from Seegers. Got him at the plate. Ha-ho! What a play. Michael Seegers. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Glasser. The pitch from Langenberg. Chopper up the middle. Seegers will grab it. Step on the bag himself. Throw to first. Another double play. Here's the 1-2 from Langenberg. It's on its way home. Line drive into center. Huckstorf sprinting forward. He caught it. He's going to try to throw it to first to double him up, and we got him. How about that double play?
8-3 double play, number 4.
Are you kidding me? The 4th double play of the game for Iowa, and this one gets started in the outfield. Next pitch to Wilmus. Ground ball to the right side. Cerny's got it. He bobbled it, and he's going to have an error. The run's going to score. It ate up Cerny at second. He couldn't locate it. Wilmus stands on first, 2-1. Hawkeyes would have the lead 2-1 going to the bottom of the 8th, but gave up 3 runs. And we fall to the Hoosiers today 4-2. You ever seen 4 double plays in the first 4 innings by one team? I don't know if I've seen it, but the Hawkeyes did that today. The pitching was there. The defense was outstanding. But the bats were silent for the Hawkeyes today. Indiana 4, Iowa 2, and the Hoosiers win the series 2-1. We'll regroup. We'll bring it on Wednesday against Milwaukee in the midweek before heading to Minneapolis to take on the Golden Gophers in a 3-game series in Minnesota. All right, really appreciate you spending your Easter Sunday listening to Iowa Hawkeye Baseball with us in the booth today. My great board op down the line, Michael. Happy Easter to you, Michael. Thanks for all you do. My color commentator, color analyst, John Evans. I'm John Leo saying so long from Bart Kaufman Field in Bloomington, Indiana. The Hoosiers win it 4-2. Hey, Hawkeye Nation, remember, every day is still a great day to be a Hawkeye, but yeah, some are just a little bit better than others. So long, everybody.
Hawkeye Baseball has been brought to you by Homewood and Home 2 Suites, preferred hotel of the Hawkeye Radio Network, Iowa's corn farmers of the Iowa Corn Growers Association, and the Iowa Corn Promotion Board. When corn grows Iowa, Iowans win. Oak Knoll, an active life care community. University of Iowa Healthcare, changing medicine, changing lives. And by Wimmer's Meats, the official hot dog of the Hawkeyes. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation on the Hawkeye Sports Network.